Okay. Are you ready, good time?
Yeah, boy.
All right. Get the timestamp started. Do those for once in my life.
Bro, we've got audio actually recording. Both cameras are on and the cards are formatted.
I'm not happy with this.
Open this can before.
I'm not happy with this post 100 us. We're way more professional. We're way
also,
more.
I do love that it was like day of episode 100, and that's where we forgot to do everything.
Everything.
We were like, this is a big day for us. Oh, we won't bother with the audio. We won't bother.
Let's not make an effort. Typical conversation. Okay. What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to the True Gamer Podcast, the podcast hosted by two gamers for you, the true gamers. I'm one of your hosts, Eddie, along with my bro, the inverted gamer himself, Sheps. We just spoke about how, like, for episode 100, we
forgot to
fucked up
record
the
audio.
Everything was on like a truck on fire, and we were like, it's a big deal. Maybe we should pay attention.
Nah.
We're like, nah. Episode 101, we'll do it.
Yeah, we know what we're doing, right? We can just trust ourselves. That'll be fine. Like, starting on time. Something we always do. 99, literally 100 times.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. Didn't work out today. Today's been just as bad. Conbrosations hasn't changed. Not one bit. Guys, thank you all for your kind messages on the last episode. Tons of people were saying congratulations on 100, saying like where they started and things like that. It was really touching to read those messages. Thank you all so much for being so cool, supporting us, everything like that. And we're going to continue giving you the entertainment that you guys desperately need to get through the day.
I mean, entertainment's a bit...
Yeah, well, we can use it fast. We very loosely nowadays,
Right.
Entertainment. What's entertainment? Is this entertainment?
I mean, look, they made, 3 seasons of Batgirl.
It's true. Wait, is that the TV show that got cancelled?
I think they're making a movie of that.
That was a movie,
and that
yeah.
got cancelled, yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what, yeah? I didn't have any hype for the Batgirl thing. Not that this is going to be a movie podcast,
No,
guys.
it's not, yeah.
But I didn't have any hype for it. But when it got cancelled, I was like, I feel bad because they did a lot of work.
Yeah.
And then also I checked out some Instagram posts of the directors, and the directors seemed pumped about it. And like genuinely pumped. They're like, oh, we can't wait for you guys to see our work. This has been such a fun time. It does kind of suck about that.
Yeah.
But one thing I have to call out, some hypocrisy.
Yeah.
Because everyone's all like, oh, the director's vision isn't being shown off now.
Don't even get me started.
How terrible is this? Release Batgirl. However, when it was released, the Snyder Cut, oh, you toxic cultists.
Yeah.
Terrible. The director's vision should never be shown. I'm like, where were you guys before? Where's that same energy?
There's two. So apparently the show was not particular. There are people that loved it. There's always people that love everything, right?
Yeah.
But the majority didn't find it particularly good. And it had troubles. Like it had it switched Batgirls because I think Ruby Rose.
Yeah, Ruby Rose was first, and then she apparently did it. She claimed there was a really tough working environment. And
yeah, I suspect that's not true because she's like a pretty seasoned actress.
She seemed a little bit divish.
It might well have been that. It could also have been, from my understanding of it, it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And just that it probably seemed like for a person with her like acting credentials, and her name, that maybe it was probably a step down, and it wasn't worth getting.
Little bit full of yourself, if that's the truth. If that's
maybe,
the case,
yeah, definitely, maybe in it.
Yeah.
But I'm of the opinion that they should have done it. And there's two schools of thought. Rob, friend of the show, was saying, think how bad the movie has to be for someone to sink almost $100 million into it and be like, nah, we're not showing this.
Yeah.
I'm of the opinion that, like, show it. You've put the money in.
Yeah.
And if it's that bad, then that's a kick in the teeth to be like, yo, you got... Because my problem with a lot of the
wrong direction.
A lot of these, like the shows and the writing and stuff, and it's also working its way into gaming because we're a gaming podcast, is people just pander and tick boxes, and that's not how you write good characters. That's not why Black Panther wasn't great. because he's black and African, right? Those are features of the character, but they wrote a great character.
Yeah.
And put him in his appropriate setting.
Yeah.
That's why he's great.
Yeah.
And that's why we love him. And when you just go, oh, well, we're going to make that Echo show.
Echo's pretty dumb.
It's like, there's nothing particularly special about her. Like, she's not super or anything. And you think, okay, well, we've seen that with Hawkeye and Black Widow. So what's her particular skill set? She's into MMA. Okay. Has one leg and is deaf. So and she's Native American and something else. She's mixed. It's like, I feel like this is you ticking boxes rather than making an incredible character and then giving us more of them. Same with Reva. Is I worry, and it's awful for... Imagine the actress, because we've seen in a bunch of scenes she was really good.
Yeah.
And then imagine being her and being like, am I getting this show because I was good or because they're ticking boxes? Right, and I think it's really bad for... if she's ever had a second where she was on set and gone... Did they just pick me because I'm female and I'm black?
Kill your morale, wouldn't it?
Right, whereas instead of being there like, I got this because I got this. I'm the best for this role.
And I'm going to make it the best as well. That's the thing you want.
And then I feel like, they tried so hard to make Reva cool so they could do a show and be like, hey, look. I don't think this is the majority. I just think there's a faction within Disney that was like, let's make a show with a black female lead.
Yeah.
And she'll be like a Jedi or a Force user. And it's like, because we tick all these boxes and we'll get all these different demographics in and they don't worry about the character. Whereas if they'd have just made her a sick character, I'd be beating down the door because she's basically like a femme fatale Vader. I'm all about that. give me Vader, Afro Vader. You think I'm not all about it?
Do you know what Bat fans? Is it Bat fan or somebody who's been impersonating you on Twitter?
Yeah, someone.
They've been nailing you perfectly. They're like, they took a picture of
I saw it.
One Division.
Do you know the worst thing?
She's like, oh, Afro Milky Mummy Energy, whatever. And I'm like,
the worst thing is, I was like, damn, that should have been a tweet from me. I'm kind of annoyed that I didn't tweet that.
Oh god. One more thing before we get on to actual gaming, guys, just to catch up with that. Fuck, man. Today's, as you said, been a fucking shit start, right?
It's been an interesting one, yeah.
First of all, I decided to go to the gym first thing in the morning because I thought, let me go back to the old days where I'd start my day off with the gym.
It's a great way to start the day.
You get energized, right? And I wanted to get that feeling again. I thought maybe I could transfer that into the show. I messaged you a little bit late to say...
A tad.
I might be a little bit late, bro. Do you mind pushing it back just an hour?
Yeah.
And then 15 minutes later, you're like, by the way, I'm at your door. And I'm like, what? Shit.
My version of events, I'm sitting in my house, flat, and I'm like, I should text him, just double check where I'm for 10. And then I'm like, nah, I texted him last night. He said we were all good. And surely if something would come up, like he had another job or something, you always say, bro, our job's running late or something, whatever. He hasn't texted me. It's all good. I leave. I get here, knock on the door. Adriana opens the door. Hey. Hi. Have you seen my boyfriend? Pardon me? Yeah, because he's not here. And I was like, nah, I'm not falling for this. I'm not falling for this. I wasn't born yesterday. This ain't my first rodeo. Yeah. And she's like, no, really, he's not here. And I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, he's not here. And I checked my phone. And like 5 minutes after I'd left, it was, yo, bro, do you mind if we bring it back an hour? Yeah, about that.
And I was like, well, you're going to have to go back home and then come back because I'm still not done. And then just to make matters worse, I was like, all right, don't worry. I've only got like one thing to do left and then I'll be done.
Yeah. And the gym's not far.
Gym's not far. So just as I left, I'm going down the steps, the final boss after a leg day.
Of course.
I'm going down the steps and I mess up on one of the steps because my legs are shaky at the moment and I drop my new headphones. I got these new Beats that are like wireless earbuds. Yeah. And I've been around for 3 days maybe, something like that. I drop them. They fall down the stairs, through the gaps, into some gravel driveway car park area. And I'm like, fuck.
I did wonder why you were taking so long. I was like, surely he would just leave, finish whatever he was doing and leave him. He'll be here. And it was like 20 minutes, half an hour. I'm like, there's no way he's finishing his whole workout,
It was literally one set left. I was like, leg extensions. I can bang those out and I'm done. I'll be cool. And I was like, underneath cars, I'm looking around, this one of them, and they've got a feature on the iPhone, you can ping it to make a little bit of a noise, but they are small earbuds at the end of the day, even on max volume, it's sort of like, beep, 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 and you're like, that could be anyway. Anyway, I did find them, but it took like 20 minutes.
This is why I'm team Hardwire. I'm team hardwired.
Yeah.
You know, I actually prefer it as well. I know it sounds weird, but
I have never been wireless. In fact, I've never been an earbud guy. I've always been an over the ear kind of guy. That's my thing. So I mean, if I had one of those, that would have been a lot better. Just hanging around my neck. But you know, this is the mistake I've fallen into. Anyway, it's not been a great start. However, we're gonna make up for it. Even though I haven't showered and I haven't done anything, I've just walked into the studio.
I feel like small wins, right? One. We're not counting up to 100 now, so we can just let it all go. We can let it all hang out.
No
we got our summer body,
exactly,
and now it's time to gorge and binge, and and then get fluffy for winter. You know,
exactly.
And two, totally random, but we both decided to wear grey Batman and Superman shirts. Not, you know, we're starting with a win. We can be super lazy and just phone it in for like another 9. No. 200 is not a big deal. It's only 250 that's a big deal.
Yeah, no one cares.
So we got like 149 episodes of just phoning it in.
Prepare, guys, for a lot of this.
Yeah, that's it.
Here we go.
That's it. It's like, oh, way down.
Just lay back now. We're good now. Smile and wave. That's what we got to do.
Smile and wave. Smile and wave.
Oh, bro. But how you doing, man? How's life treating you?
Yeah, man. Been all right. Weirdly, so I haven't finished Stray yet.
Yep.
I'm making my way through it.
Right.
Still enjoying it. I'm just not like...
you're just enjoying being a cat. That's what you're doing.
Well, I don't really like being a cat, but... but
do you like being a sleepless human?
That's true. The cat has had more sleep in-game
I was
than
gonna
I've
say,
had.
There's a trophy for you to nap a whole hour, real-time hour in the game. And I did that.
Wow. I'm not going to do it. I refuse. I refuse.
Just imagine that you're the cat while it's napping.
But like one of the things about the game is because it's fairly linear. Yeah. So if it wasn't for that trophy, I probably would end up platinuming it. Like I've got most of the memories for where I am. I've just helped Clementine out of her pickle.
Oh yeah.
So that's where I'm at. So I think I've got like an hour or 2 left. But I haven't finished it. I am enjoying it. It's weird. It's got a cool little story. I called the thing about the little droid. You know, I always call shit like that. I was like, immediately, I was like, this is the guy. But it's been good fun. Played a little bit of Apex here and there. Weirdly, got a text in our group message, and people were saying, "Oh, Fortnite has that no build thing. Has anyone tried it out?" And I'm trying to be like, "Yo, come to Apex instead."
Yeah, just if you want that, Apex does it great.
Exactly. So it might be fun to get like the boys on to jam something.
I do love that. The thing that differentiated Fortnite from everyone was the building, and I maintained it from day one that was the part that sucked.
Yes, it was
about Fortnite, and they kept it. They kept going, and everyone was like,
14
"Fortnite
seasons,
is great." Exactly, Fortnite is great. It's the best thing on earth. And I'm like, "Nope, I'm not playing it."
Have you seen
and then
that
they
GIF?
come back round to me, and I'm like, "Aha, bastards!" I knew it all along.
and apparently it's more popular, and it's like the most popular mode they've ever had. And
I've heard that as well. By far, obviously, you don't want one bullet and then the guy builds a fucking tower.
Have you seen that GIF?
No.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Does he sit back? And
he sits on a lawn chair. Yes. The guy finishes building the Taj Mahal, and then he just quick scopes him out of it. But like, it
pokes his head over and like. There you go.
I hated it. I never really played Fortnite all that much, but I got competent at very basic builds, and anytime I'd find myself in a build fight, I knew I was gonna lose because I was not gonna go into a gunfight. Like a bad gunfight is where you're facing off with somebody, right? Ideally, you want to find yourself with like a head glitch, some cover, something, right?
Yeah.
Good positioning. But worst case scenario, you're gonna come up against someone, and you've got like, if you're a decent enough player, it's somewhere around 50-50, unless you're going up against like a pro, right? Every single time I knew I was going to have no idea where they were coming from. I just was not in control of it. And even if I was like holding my own for that stuff where they would like open doors and edit stuff, like I would lose them all the time. I could not keep track. I just couldn't get it. And I had no concept for when, like as walls were coming down, there's a period where you can still shoot through it with like...
when it's like blue or something.
Yeah, there's an amount where like as it's building, you can still get bullets through, but it's reduced. It's sort of like
just the damage
penetration damage
when you go through. Okay.
And I could never seem to figure out how late I could leave it or how early. So I would just tend to find myself not shooting if something was building. It was just, I hated it.
Just waiting to be killed, basically, because you're like, okay, I'll wait until he does something that I can shoot.
And worse, there'd be someone who I had their number in the gunfight, and they were just like zoop up this ridiculous thing and then disappear, and I couldn't keep track of them. I just didn't know where it was, and if I did, I just hated
bullshit. That building nonsense was bullshit,
it's
and
crap.
Even Fortnite agrees that's why they removed it.
It's
okay,
crap. But what's really good fun is the thing about Fortnite is that because it is ridiculous, you have all these different ways to like traverse the map. So they have like at one point when Marvel was in there, you had like people that could fly and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And now they have these like grapple gloves that basically let you Spider-Man swing around the map, and there's a bunch of like fun stuff because it is basically. It's only one step away from being... What they should do is do a mode where it's like toys and you're set in like a bedroom, you know? Because then it would all fit really, really well. I think that would make a good map. I'd probably jam that, actually.
Did you see that? I think Sean might have tagged us in it. I've been seeing these guys for a while. Hyper...
I think I know exactly the thing you're talking about.
Oh fuck! It's basically it's
like
basically
Toy Story Battle Royale.
Toy Story Battle Royale. Essentially, you're like in gardens, you're in shopping malls and stuff like that, and your toys. It looks amazing. And the person who's running the Twitter account, top notch. The guy's constantly like, "Hey, wouldn't this be cool if it was on Xbox, or wouldn't this be cool if it was on PlayStation?" And he bombards them until they fucking do it. And I'm like.
That's cool. Yeah, well
if you're gonna get your game somewhere.
Weirdly, I just learned something apparently about Toy Story. Sort of relates. I swear we'll get to gaming, boys. Don't worry.
I mean, we're talking. Oh, no, that's not.
Apparently, you know when you see Buzz Lightyear and there's the whole shelves full of stocked of buzzes.
Yes.
Apparently, the reason for that scene is because the Buzz Lightyear movie didn't do very well in the universe, and so there's all these toys there. Because no one's buying them, not because it's super popular. Because we assumed he's like the most popular toy.
Yeah.
But apparently he's not. That's why we don't bump into that many more buzzes, except in a mall or a toy store.
Al's Toy Barn.
Right. And it's really funny because the Toy Story movie, the Buzz Lightyear movie bombed.
Yes.
Apparently it's quite good.
I don't know. I don't understand.
I haven't seen it.
Understand. It should have been amazing.
Apparently it's good as well.
That's weird. And it's Chris Evans. You thought it would have been... Right. Everything's lined up.
Yeah.
How did it not work? I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
I've only heard one thing, and I don't know if this is true.
Right.
And I kind of hate to repeat it because I don't know if it's true, but what I heard was...
Is it the kiss thing?
Yeah, so what I heard was... Because I don't care about that. What I heard was...
Yeah.
The reason that it bombed is because the marketing focused on the pandering, right? The box ticking, hey, we have a gay kiss, all this stuff. And it's supposed to be a kids movie about Buzz Lightyear. And if a kids movie about Buzz Lightyear happens to have a gay kiss in it, that's one thing. But all the marketing was like, oh, it's got a gay kiss. It's the first this, it's the first that. And then Chris Evans came out and said, like, if you have a problem with the gay kiss, we don't want you to come and see it. And it just alienated a bunch of the audience. And people just went, well, I don't want to see a propaganda piece. And apparently it's not. It's just the way they marketed it.
Yeah, so this is the thing. I think they made a mistake. So it's. I mean, at one point, I am kind of on Chris Evans' side, knowing what I think is what happened with the movie, because for the record, I think it's one moment where two couples who aren't even like core characters. I think I've only seen this one scene where they kiss. They go into a room where there's a birthday party going on, and Buzz sees it, and he's sort of like emotional for a second, and that's it. And I think that's the only time it's done. So it's nothing. It's nothing. No one cares.
Like the mums in Doctor Strange. You know, Thingy has what's her name? America something? America Chavez, I think.
Her name's America, which I thought was so weird.
That was weird. But like, she has mums. It's like, it doesn't matter, but people are like, it's a trans, like, it's all politics. Like, bruv, it's a multi-universal, like, who cares? She's got two mums. No one cares. And relax. I know people with two mums. Relax. I have two mums if you count a stepmom. Like, relax.
And you have another dad as well here. Me and mum are great friends.
And my actual stepdad.
Exactly.
And worse, my gay brother is a stepbrother, which makes things so risky. I refuse to do house chores around him now. Hey, stepbro.
Okay,
wrong podcast.
We have gone far too far off.
We'll go back to gaming.
Let's bring it back to gaming. Yeah. So by the way, the game that I was talking about was Hypercharged Unboxed. If anyone wants to go check it out, it looks fantastic. Play it wherever you can. Yeah. Okay, so shall we first go into our first... Oh, wait, before we get into that, let's thank some people who make this ridiculous podcast where we talk about anything and everything for some reason possible. Our super bros over at patreon.com/Conbrosations. Guys, please tell me you like this stuff because...
You know what? We got a few comments saying, hey, the episodes are running long, and the conversation's so good because you guys are so much more comfy now. Like, we're not turning our necks, we've got the nice comfy chairs. The only problem is I feel like we're getting too comfy now, and we're just having our regular conversations.
Is this a side effect from the gym? Like, now I've like fucking hyped myself up. Is this gonna happen every time?
Now you're on my tangent energy.
Jesus Christ. I've got too much power. I feel like when I've got the Infinity Gauntlet. Anyway, thank you everybody over at patreon.com/Conbrosations. Shit, I'm gonna die. Our Super Bros.
we are not good at this.
It's not good.
It's 100 episodes and it looks like it's episode 1.
People are like, this is the first episode, right? Oh, 101.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't feel right. Diogo Dildo, Isak the Ultimate Cumsock, Sabine from Smallville, the Star Wars Encyclopedia, Adam Sunling, Catsbud the Friendly Patron, Jeremy Renner, that's right, an official Avenger.
Oh, good, he's back in the gang.
He's back in the game now. Super Sus Ben Fryer, the Filthy Thief Fanatic, Joe McCormack, Clark, the 53rd, My Juicy Left Nut, the Super Sexy Producer, Sean, Chris, the Ghost of Tsushima Hater.
I definitely think it's like... sus.
You know, the funny thing is, he only found out about it on the Conbrosations podcast.
Oh, did he not know this was?
He goes, usually I just tune out because I mean, like, I'm in there, but I'm like, it's like that. And but I listened this time, and I was like, when did I become the Ghost of Tsushima hater? I was like, bro, it's been a long time. Everyone knows it.
I think it was when he said that comment about, I can't believe they only dropped the 2 bombs.
Right.
You know?
Right.
That's a direct.
I can't believe it.
For legal reasons, that was a joke.
The worst part is that oh god, I can't speak. The worst part is we've got our improv down so well that I'm just straight away agree with you. Yeah, of course. That incredibly insensitive comment. Yes, I agree.
Oh, sorry, Chris. Oh.
No, no, I don't agree. And Gamsmaster, the leader of the Empire, the fearless one, the great Lord Vader himself, step cousin, who isn't really related but likes to be involved. But my throat is gone now. That's good. Start of the podcast. It's gone.
That's right.
Thank you guys so much for keeping the lights and mics and the gaming going here at the True Gaming Podcast. Right, let's let's talk about the first topic, 20 minutes in. Okay. Couple of big topics today. Any day, all of them would have been like the number one topic. But I'm going to kick it off with...
Yeah, it's been a busy week-ish.
The PS5 exclusive, at least console launch exclusive, Knights of the Old Republic remake has been delayed indefinitely. So apparently what happened, I'll give you the summary of it here. Recently, they showed a demo to Sony and Lucas Games, and it was poor. Very, very bad. Not where it needed to be. They basically shelved the game indefinitely to decide what the fuck they're going to do with it. Big news, because it was one of the big names that...
it was massive. It was a big get for Sony. Yeah.
Sony was... It was at the PlayStation 5 event.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, this is coming. God of War is coming. And then it's not coming. This is happening. That's happening. And Knights of the Old Republic. Right. If you want to play it first. If you want to play it,
like,
come over here. Yeah. KOTOR, you guys remember, it's been remade, modern stuff. And it's been delayed indefinitely. Really troubling stuff.
Well, it makes you wonder, why could they make the game in, like, whenever the frick it was made? Oh, when did KOTOR actually come out?
The first one? Oh, God, I don't even know.
KOTOR... When did KOTOR release? 2003.
2003.
So why could they make it in 03 and they can't basically just slap new graphics on it now?
This is the thing. So, I don't know what the original... Because the thing is that Sony must have seen something at the beginning, right? Like a vertical slice or something to say, we want to put our name behind this and we want to give you guys the promotional space. If they didn't, fucking reckless Sony, but that doesn't... It's not really in line with everything that we've seen with them before. So, let's see they saw a little something. And then they continued and continued. Something must have broken down. The only thing that I can think of is that this Aspire Media, who's making the remake, previously... all they've ever done is port games. Not remakes, not remasters. They just port them. And even then, I hear their ports aren't the best. They're like bugs and stuff like that.
I did think it was weird that it was them that got it.
Such a big name, right? And then suddenly it's just this like randomly out of nowhere Aspire Media who we've barely heard. They come along. They've worked on other Star Wars projects. Like they've ported Knights of the Old Republic 2, I think it is, to the Switch. They've done other things to mobile.
Yeah.
But they've never made a game themselves. They've never done a remaster or done a remake or anything like that. And it seemed odd that they just went, all right. I mean, not like anyone can't make their first step into the thing and be good, right?
Right.
But it seemed odd that such a high-profile game was being given to these guys that were fairly inexperienced.
The thing that's interesting about it is, so you said like stepping in. We always bring up Ghost of Tsushima and Sucker Punch. But the thing is, Sucker Punch had made high-quality products. They're sort of a B-list movie, in a sense. Like, the Infamous games were niche, but they worked and they were good, and the people that liked them loved them. The Aspire's ports have been a little bit
shaky.
Yeah, and it's not to say that I actually think porting is probably it has its own challenges that make it probably as difficult, just a shorter time frame. But easily, I can understand that. But like, these guys have a track record where like it's sort of hit and miss, versus other guys that have a track record. It's just not in what they're doing, what the next project is. So that's a weird one. Although, more proof that Star Wars is better than Star Trek. At least they announced their delay.
Exactly, right?
Right, Alpha?
Get fucked.
That game will eventually come out, and I expect to just be bombarded.
See, it is out. Look at what I'm playing it right now, and he will.
Absolutely.
They say in their official release that the remake was announced in September 2021, supposed to be for the end of 2022, so this year. However, the employees that they've been speaking to apparently are thinking more of a realistic window of 2025.
Right.
Very, very, very big delay. But to be fair, do you know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like they're completely moving away from Aspire Media guys.
Yeah.
They're going to just take that project from them and give it to someone far more capable, which I don't hate Aspire. I don't have anything against them. But if they have done bad work and it's not going well, it's better to take it off their hands and give it to someone who can do a good job than get a bad game in the end, right?
Well, like if someone had a really ambitious project, a perfect example, I think, Bend Studios.
Yeah.
They want to do something, it's a bit over their heads. You take the project away, there's nothing against it, it's just an example.
You hate Bend, okay.
Right, exactly. You take it away, give it to like Naughty Dog or Sony Santa Monica, right? Is that saying Bend are no good? No. Is that saying you hate Sony Bend? No. It's saying that they, for whatever reason, it's just an example, relax, were unable to do it with maybe a smaller team and less experience, whatever. You give it to a more seasoned veteran of the thing and it's probably in safer hands. Especially for such a massive game. Yeah,
I was going to say, like, I haven't played the original KOTOR, have you?
No, but I've heard nothing but good things since 2003.
It's known throughout the gaming industry as one of the great games ever. It's up there with the Mass Effects, up there with the Halos and stuff like that. Yeah. That I always hear, despite me not playing all of those games and whatnot. I'm like, I clearly know there's something here. I'm not going to say it's bad. But as a guy who doesn't like older games, I do feel like I've seen gameplay of it. I'm like, this is pretty dated.
It's dated.
So the remake was exciting to me.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of on Sony's side or Lucasfilm's side, whoever made the decision here. Make it good. When it's going to come out, this could be a serious resurgence of Star Wars games. It could be of KOTOR. You could potentially pull out a sequel after that. That's going to be fantastic. Who knows?
Yeah.
And all those people that have heard about it, like myself, you can get those people in as well. And honestly, I'm kind of on their side on this one. While it does suck, and I'm gonna have to wait more time.
We want good games. We don't want games just to come out. We want them to come out and be good.
Exactly.
And two things. One, I gotta be honest. I thought KOTOR coming out in 2022 seemed a bit close.
It seemed a bit ambitious.
It did. And 2025 actually makes me go, I can believe that timeline. That actually feels like it would work. It's not a Cyberpunk. Oh, we're pushing it 3 months. We're pushing it 3 months. We're pushing it 6 months. We're going to push it another 2 months. We're going to push it one more month. Like, just push it the time it's going to need.
Yeah.
Final point on this, and let me know what you think, boys. I'm kind of sick of Star Wars getting ruined.
Yeah. Star Wars seems to be the one that gets it the worst.
It really does. And I think it's because there were never really any hard and fast rules set down. And all of them have bad things in them. So, like, if you're really paying attention critically, the original trilogy doesn't make sense. Midi-chlorians, you know? So it's not that any of these things that I necessarily have a problem. I have a problem. So, like, the recent trilogy, the inconsistent story. That's the biggest problem. I don't mind that they change stuff or that Rey's a Mary Sue ultimately, right? I don't care. I want to see space wizards with laser swords. I care that they cucked Kylo. I care that they ruined a great potential anything with Finn, whatever was going on.
That was my biggest burn.
Well, like, what the hell?
They set up something amazing. It was like
something.
Finn's going to be
Ray,
sick.
I need to tell you. It's all good. I forgot what I was going to say. Never mind. What?
For the whole second movie, we'll just put him in a wet bag.
Right. And then end it with, yeah, my name's Rey Star Wars. You know? So, like, I'm sick of it. And not that, like, stuff's allowed to not work and be dumb. It's Star Wars. That's kind of the point, right? Yeah. But have it be consistent and at least sort of make sense a bit. You know, have the story be overarching, and instead you're telling two different stories, and then, it's the dude with the caved-in head. I don't know what the design about that was, and then no, it's actually Palpatine. Oh, it's ridiculous.
Somehow.
Right, so I'm just sick. And that's the explanation. Somehow. Shut up. Oh my days. Like, Jesus Christ. So I'm sick of Star Wars getting ruined.
Yeah.
And I want a good game, and I don't care if it gets pushed as long as it comes out working. You know?
Let's hope. I mean, one thing that's making me think that maybe this is a good thing, and possibly maybe this was a Sony decision, because we've seen in the past Lucas
They'll greenlight a lot.
Lucas Games, fucking, how did they let the EA shit get by? How did they let a lot of shit get by, right? Now, maybe they've learned from that lesson. Maybe
Fingers crossed,
maybe they've got it in there. But I feel like this might have been a Sony decision, because Sony have done really well when it comes to, they've got their own original IP, and they've made big names for themselves. They've taken on Spider-Man in form of a game, and they've associated themselves as the Spider-Man console.
Yes.
So maybe they're looking to do the Star Wars thing with this, and they were like, you better do it right.
Yeah.
You're not doing it right? Scrap it. We're starting again. We're giving it to someone else. And if that's the case, I'm all for it.
It's funny because the PlayStation side of Sony seems to be really dedicated to staying true to making a really perfect vision of Spider-Man, for example.
Yeah.
Not quite so much in the cinematic universe. Although, weirdly, I love all what's that? It's 8 movies.
Yeah. They've all got their charm to it. That's the thing. They're not
it's another Star Wars, isn't it? It's another Star Wars.
That's what it is.
But the game side of it, even in the PS2 game's fantastic. And it's very... Did you play that? You must have. The PS2 Spider-Man.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, they're great. They're perfect. And if they're going to do that to Star Wars, I'm all about it. And I don't mind if it takes an extra 3 years. Just give me the game that we deserve to have. Yeah. You know? That's where I am with that.
Yeah,
but it is a pity. Because, man, KOTOR, like, goddamn.
I was looking forward to it. Do you know what? There's a couple of things that's been bumming me out. I was looking forward to replaying The Witcher this year.
Yeah.
And then they moved that to late this year. But there's no way I'm now going to play that, because there'll be The Last of Us remake that comes out.
Yep.
There'll be God of War Ragnarok that comes out. I'll be deep in all of that. And maybe I'll get around to The Witcher. When it was early this year, I had loads of time.
Yep.
I would have loved to have played The Witcher, but that's not going to work out. And I feel kind of similar with this. I was like...
The worst thing as well is it's not going to work out because CDPR were basically virtue signaling. Like, we're not going to do it because the company's Russian. Like, so what? They're not... You know that they're not...
I was going to say, they are not actually Vladimir Putin. You know that, right? It's like, hold on a sec. Let's just pull up their company website. Wait, this all just Vladimir Putin's.
We are a team.
What the hell? It's like, not
his Vlad.
There are innocent people there. Just people trying to make a living.
So, like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
And I've been waiting to replay The Witch for a while. It's it's like God of War for me, where I'm at a point where it's been long enough that going longer doesn't make any difference to me now. And if I'm going to play it, I want it to be like the full haptic, frame rate boosted, ray tracing, all of it.
Well, here's an interesting thing. So they haven't done that for the PlayStation 5. They haven't released a PS5 patch that does all the extra stuff other than a resolution and frame rate boost. And it's great and everything, but we would like to have the extra stuff.
We would.
The Spider-Man game that's coming to PC has Dualsense support.
Yep.
Even though it's PC.
Yep.
And I'm guessing they're going to work out some sort of drivers for it and stuff like that. And I'm wondering...
Good guy, Sony.
Like, I mean, why wouldn't they... I think...
Why wouldn't they let those peasants suffer?
I'm wondering why they... I mean, if they're going to do that, surely they can like put it into the PC port of God of War, and then if you're doing it then you might as well do it to the PS5
You'd
version.
think so, right?
It should just be all over the board.
I would think that when God of War 5 drops, when Ragnarok comes out, that they will then push the haptic.
Yeah.
But I think they're probably going to wait a bit so that people get to experience it with Ragnarok. That would be my guess, and then they'll add it. It could have more of a significant effect when God of War Ragnarok comes out to have that feature set and go. That's what I think.
Yo! Whereas, I mean, for me, because I'm playing all the originals, I'm going to play God of War 2018 before God of War Ragnarok comes out.
Of course.
I would love to have it then so I could go into it like that. Because I'm not going to go back to it afterwards, you know?
Yeah, I feel you.
Speaking of God of War Ragnarok, I am going crazy with theories. I've been reading up on the books and the laws. I worry about your theories,
though. Like, I wonder if it's like, what if...
So, hear me out. We are the whales, get it now?
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking it's going to be. And I'm like, he never did any research, did he? He just started out having ideas and saying them.
Do you know what's funny? I wrote a whole script up for one of my theories. I'm going to write a couple of theories and record them all together because I feel like they're all very good next to each other. And I wrote one of them out. And I wrote them in such a way that if you know nothing about the lore, you can understand it, you can follow it, as a good video should be. I gave it to I read it out to my girlfriend. It's only like 10, 15 minutes long. But she's like, I get it, but I feel like it's a history lesson. And I was like, yeah, it kind of is with Norse mythology. Yeah. You kind of learn all I'm like, maybe I need to work this a little bit more, you know? Anyway, we'll see how that goes. You should start
the video with you like on a blackboard. Like, okay, class.
Here we go.
Take notes. This will be on the test.
Norse mythology 101 brackets God of War. Because there's many different versions. Anyway, so KOTOR officially been delayed indefinitely. Yeah. People are saying inside realistically around 2025, but that's not an official one right there. It's interesting. I don't understand.
I would rather we delay it and it comes out and we get KOTOR than it comes out early and we get Halo Infinite, KOTOR Infinite. You know, no one wants that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Also, I don't know if you saw it. Talking of Halo Infinite, Gerg just retweeted somebody who made Kino der Toten, I think it was, in Forge. And he was like, this would be cool if they release Forge fully working and, like infected few game modes, like it could really revive the game. And I was just thinking, that would be amazing, but they won't do it because it's taken this long to get Forge, and this is supposed to be like, this was their flagship product.
Yeah.
Right, you know what we are to the FPN? That's what Halo Infinite was to the Xbox. And it just bugs me because it reminded me, seeing it, I was like, man, that's what I love about Forge, because people did that, you know? And I just love seeing someone recreate something in Halo, and it brought back all that nostalgia. Like, that's something you're not going to get to experience when you do go through those games.
You won't have their situations, isn't it?
Right, exactly. You're just going to play the games, and yeah, that's cool, but there's so much more to it. Which reminds me, before you go to Halo 3, there are like things you need to watch of the promo run up to Halo 3,
right?
Which I want you to watch. It's like a couple of documentaries, yeah. Which are cool. But I just, it sucks, and I don't want that for anything else, because it's bad enough that it happened to Halo, and I still feel salty about Halo despite all the, I say that I don't like it and it's dead to me, but it's not.
It's got that warm place in your heart, those warm memories.
Right.
It's just unfortunately been poisoned by what it's become.
Right, exactly. But I'm still going to show the photo album to my kids of all the games we used to play, right, and all the nostalgia, and there's going to be a whole section dedicated to Halos 1 through 3.
Yeah.
And still going to show them that and have all those warm memories, metaphorically, who shows kids pictures.
Kids showing pictures of Halo.
Yeah.
Like, so this is the Master Chief.
Yeah.
This is also the Master Chief. This is the Master Chief.
Yeah.
This one, you guessed it, Master Chief.
Well done. I see you're paying attention, kids.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's the end of the KOTOR discussion.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comment section. Was you excited? How do you feel about the delay? Are you on our boat? I mean, if it was that bad that they are feeling like they're just going to fucking drop them and see if they can find someone else, is it worth it? I feel like it is. And I feel
Isak's probably crying because he loves those old games, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. And I think Corwin right now is replaying the original one. And he's constantly saying how much he loves it and stuff like that. I don't know if the remake was... there. So we not... I personally feel the datedness of games a lot more. Corwin doesn't seem to feel that way at all, so maybe he doesn't care. Maybe he's completely happy waiting and not even playing this one, whatever. But I guess we'll find out.
We will find out.
Talking of people that will find out...
I was trying to work something in there.
No, it's not going to work. No, our true gamers who support us over at patreon.com/Conbrosations at the $5 tier, the true gamers who get this podcast the day it's recorded and their name read out as legendary true gamers.
Legendary.
Those people are Adam the High Quality Potato, Jeremy Horde, Gams Master, Sheps' Crusty Right Nut, Isak Manny, The Bat Fan, Adam Sunling. I forgot what's going on. Oh shit, hold on a second.
So it's the beginning of the month, and I wonder if things renewing haven't come through yet.
I've messed up. The Bat Fan was supposed to be in the Super Bros as well. The Batfish!
How did you forget?
I don't know.
Also, he's actually a Batfish now, because he's pretending to be me. Little shit.
I am sorry about the list. I'll fix it for the next episode. Adam Sunling, Clark53, Mikey T, Sab2557, Cats Coral, Joe McCormack, Super Whale Ben, The Boys Season 3.
We've done it!
Hashtag make the nice guys too, please, for the love of holy fuck Hollywood. Gerald Tucker, Fishy.
So there's like one more.
Fishy, The Jackal, Max H, Cobra SS, Sam Mason.
You good?
That's all. Sorry, the list is very weird on their Patreon today. I don't know what's going on there, but thank you so much for keeping the lights and mics on and the gaming going.
That's right.
The True Game Podcast. Little housekeeping update. EGX this year. So, as some of you guys know, last year we met up with a bunch of guys at EGX. We had a good old time playing whatever few games were available there. They were still recovering.
It better be better this year.
It has to be much better. Last year was pretty much the end of the pandemic, but they couldn't get people to get together, so it was very, very bad. But we had a good time having people there together, play a few games. This year, we're going to do exactly the same thing again. It's happening on the weekend of the 24th or something like that, September 24th. Go check out the EGX website. We are going to be there on Friday, the 23rd of September
yes,
and 24th of September. So Friday and Saturday. Friday, we're going to spend our day in the convention center.
Yeah.
I'm going to play whatever games we can, have some lunch together, maybe have a little meal afterwards, and then we'll we'll hang out for a little bit, say hi, shake hands, stuff like that. And that'll be the big day that we spend at EGX. And on Saturday, we'll do a slightly shorter day at the convention center. We'll still get in and play some games.
Yeah.
But that day, afterwards, we'll do the big meetup where people who don't have to pay for a ticket to come in, they can just meet us up in London, close to the convention center. We'll go off to like a gaming bar. We'll get some drinks. We'll get some food. Food first, so anyone that's under 18 can then do whatever they like afterwards and stuff like that. And then we'll go to I've picked a few gaming bars that look quite nice, some retro stuff, some new stuff. It looks awesome. It'll be a great time.
We should have seen if any of the boys wanted to go to EGX this year.
We can ask them. I know Tyler is coming down. He's coming down Sunday, the day after, literally, so he won't be there. But if any of the other guys want to come down, that's totally cool. I know George is ventured outside of his home a little bit.
What?
The guy
is he even allowed out?
He's usually just behind the computer playing video games and then making videos about those video games. But I know he's ventured out a little bit, so maybe he'd be into it. But yeah, so if you guys want to come down, if you guys want to come see us, it's been great the last time that we've done it. Every time we go, there's always something fun to do, and this year should be a little bit better. Feel free to join us. I'll make an official post about it on Discord and Twitter and things like that.
And Patreon and all of that.
That's all the information for you guys.
I will say, because a few people messaged me like, hey, I'm thinking about like traveling to it, and they're like from abroad. Definitely wasn't worth it last year.
Last year was very, I mean, that's... Yeah. But the thing is, if you're coming for us, we'll make it worth it. I don't want to promise that. So I don't promise that.
If you happen to book a holiday to come to London at that time, that's one thing, but I wouldn't come just for that.
Isak is definitely coming. So he came last week to London for nothing. So he's obviously going to come for us, right? Isak's all about coming for us. So
God damn it.
Let's you already put down. We're going to put your name down, Isak. Don't worry about it. I have a feeling this year we'll get a lot more guys. Like last year we had like 5 guys, something like that. I think we'll have a lot more guys. And I think it'll be even better. I think it'll be quite good.
Yeah, especially, I mean, if any of the northern lot turn up.
Yeah.
You know.
All right. That's all we've got to talk about now. That's a little housekeeping. Bro.
Yes.
Time for your favourite segment.
That's right. Never forgotten.
Correcting Conbrosations.
So look if you're new around here.
I'm already laughing. I can't take it.
Oh, God. Right. Settle in for a 2-hour segment, boys. Correcting Conversations. We say things on the internet. We've never let pesky things like facts or information get in the way of our strongly held beliefs. So when we say something incorrect, just head down to the comment section. I deal with the timestamp. At 12 minutes and 73 seconds when you said this, it was actually that. And next week, we'll read out a comment and credit you. But obviously the last few weeks have been no corrections because we're so smart. Our brains are so big and wrinkly. And these smooth pebble brain boys had just nothing to pick on. Which is why it wasn't that we forgot the segment 3 weeks running and then missed it once as well. Because we just forgot. We just... there was no corrections. Anyway.
There was none.
Obviously no corrections now either.
Someone has gone back. And put comments in, so we're going to have to recap some of those.
Okay.
Strangely,
we're just going to pretend they were out. Did they edit the time on the computer so YouTube goes, oh, it was this?
It's like, oh, this was 3 weeks ago, but really it was only a day ago.
Obviously, it was like yesterday. They were like, oh shit, it's Wednesday. They're going to record tomorrow.
Runic Firebird.
Oh, couldn't have guessed.
Writes in and he does the lowercase uppercase letter thing and he's like, it's my favorite segment, we never forget an episode. I don't think you're good. So I don't think it is, Sheps. You've missed 3 weeks of corrections. You've got 3 weeks of corrections to cover now. The count of missed episodes now is 5, and apparently we'll keep going. Now, he also messaged on Twitter, and
I saw it. I saw it. I was like, no, we did it. If you didn't see it, it's because you weren't paying attention. That's your fault, not mine.
I love Runic Firebird. He's something special. He is. But a bunch of corrections in the episode. Just get started. Sheps, Eddie tried to correct you when you were talking about a Plague Tale game, which
yeah, a Plague Tale,
which you said he was wrong. So you said apparently I was wrong that it was the first one is called Requiem and the other one's called Innocence, when actually it's Innocence and not.
That's what I said. That's what I said at the time. Yeah, I said it the right way around. He's got it wrong. Correct yourself.
Eddie, you called aliens.
Aha!
Finally, one for me here, but it's not even a gaming one, which is funny. It's just like, Eddie, you called the aliens from Aliens. They're called xenomorphs.
How do you not know that?
I'm so Loser. Dumb, that fucking idiot.
Loser.
Next up for both of you, God of War Ragnarok won't be at the Game Awards this year because the release date is during or after the polls go out for the awards, and they'll have to be part of the next year's awards. Actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I've seen a tweet from Jeff Keighley himself saying that it's going to be eligible. I don't know if that's official. I think it was in a discussion with like Halo Infinite wasn't last year because it was too late. But then they're like, oh, Jeff Keighley's going to move the date around to get God of War Ragnarok in. He's like, I haven't even released the date yet. What are you talking about? But I think he mentioned to somebody that it's in the time limit.
Yeah.
To be continued. All right.
Get fricked.
There's correcting runic fiber. That's what we're going to call this episode right now. Now, Sheps again.
Oh, God.
When talking about Hogwarts Legacy, you said flick and swish when the movement is actually swish and flick. You fucking idiot.
Well, you should have caught that.
Do you know what's funny? Isla gave me one of my socks the other day. She likes to give things to people now. She's learned to share and whatnot.
Dobby's free. I have to look after you no more, bitch.
I said that. I was like, Dobby's free. And I was like, no. I looked at my girl. I was like, don't tell anyone I said that. Don't tell them. They'll crucify me.
Funnily enough, I think it was Cass who saw a tweet. I saw a tweet of him saying he'd seen like the customization screen for Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah, Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah. And he was saying that like, apparently he thinks you won't be able to customize, like, weirdly, the Patronus, he was like, you won't be able to pick what it'll be. It's going to get like randomly assigned to you what your animal is or whatever.
Right.
And I'm like, I feel like as someone who's, I've read the books and stuff, I'm just not a huge Potterhead. I don't know why that spell was so like beloved by everybody, because it's got one use against the Mentors.
Yeah.
And that's typically not a big thing. That's not something you often come up against.
Yeah, it was okay for that one movie where it was like, oh, I think it was my dad and stuff like that. It's like, what's the stag? Yeah,
like 3 or 4, whichever one it is.
And it's like, all right. And then after that, never mentioned again. It's like, so why is this a big deal?
Yeah, why do we care about this?
This is why this game is going to be shit.
Isn't it?
Anyway.
Also, it's like, I think he said you can pick your house. And I'm like, well...
Wait, what's the sorting hat for then?
Right, exactly. And also, no one's picking Hufflepuff.
Right.
No one is picking Hufflepuff.
Do you know what? I really do fancy myself at Hufflepuff.
Like,
no one's ever said
Gryffindor, cool enough, but it's been a bit done. Ravenclaw, that's changing it up a bit. Slytherin to be a villain or to see what's down there, you know? No one's picking Hufflepuff. No one's picking Hufflepuff.
I feel like being picked on by everyone. Hufflepuff, there we go. That's it, boys.
What?
No one's doing that. And Eddie, god damn it.
God damn it.
You should have.
Yes.
Oh, wait. Oh, Eddie, you should have corrected him because you're a pothead. Fuck, he had to get that in, didn't he? And I hope I had more, but I'm out of time, and this is a long one, so I'm done for now. I bet you didn't have anything. Diogo says, this was the Game of the Year so far episode.
Yeah.
Correcting Conbrosations. Yeah, that's right. Not going to bother spelling the rest of correcting Combros. So I'm not going to bother spelling the rest of the name because...
Well, unfortunately, we don't do a correcting Combros segment to get fricked.
He said, so we read out his comment and he was saying he didn't put Horizon Forbidden West as his Game of the Year so far.
Right.
And we portrayed it as sort of like oh, you fucking idiot, was clearly one of the best games ever. What, you didn't like it, you dumb, something like that.
I feel like we should stick to those guns. Get fricked.
Definitely, that's the way he said it. He goes, I did not call Horizon Forbidden West bad in any way. Sheps, he actually says your name here. I just said it didn't do anything major to make it my favorite. This is slander and will be used in a full legal force at my disposal to take away your home and your gaming chairs. I mean, if you take mine away, at least I get the excuse to buy the Superman one that I've been wanting to buy for fucking ever
I
now.
feel that you don't want this going to a court of law, because then we get to establish that you hate female protagonists, you hate Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West, and... What was the rest of his comment? That was it. That was it. That's all there is to it. Just and to be continued. Find out what Diego's accused of next week on Conversations.
The only other cool comment here was there's a guy who literally his name is British. It's not without the T. It's a little comment there. British. Like, British. And he says, Amicia is a cool name. You're called Sheps. He fucking rinsed you. He was like, with the back of the soap bowl, like, lather, rinse, and repeat. There you go. There's a rinse.
Also, my beef was that, like, was Hugo or Ugo. Like, because my beef is that Hugo's constantly going, Amicia, Amicia, and it's like, it's an unusual name, and it's him being annoying. You know?
Bro, you're called Sheps.
You're called Sheps.
Fucked.
Rinsed.
Get fucked.
Bruv, give me the number for a burn unit.
Sean also says that we said the release date of Last of Us Part 1 as 22nd of September when it's the 2nd of September. Fucking idiotas, he says.
Idiotas.
Fucking idiotas. Okay, moving on to the next episode of Corrections. They won't let us live if we don't catch up with them, so let's go here. Guacamole writes in, And he says, correcting Conbrosations. Hey guys, this is a mistake that both of you made this time.
Aha!
So I'm sure Sheps will appreciate not being called out individually. From 0 minutes and 0 seconds to 2 hours to
the whole podcast,
you accidentally had James Lasers on as a guest.
That's the sort of correcting conversation. That's what we need.
Obviously, this was a mistake because I know you two distinguished hosts would never intentionally bring such a bland and vapid? Is that a word?
Yeah, I think so.
Vapid person on your show. It's such a clear mistake. I wouldn't have pointed it out if it hadn't gone on for so long for the whole podcast. I'm surprised neither of you noticed a dull, droning voice in your ears. I did. It was a bit annoying. I'm not gonna lie.
Honestly, I thought it was like maybe a video playing on one of my tabs that I didn't.
Yeah, something like that, right? Probably want to check to make sure they have him calling in again by accident. Great show, other than whenever James was speaking. Fucking rinsed. I love that this show we fucking dunk on James all the time. He's just so dumb.
Also, half time it comes out now, just get fricked, Wames.
Yeah.
For nothing.
Giuseppe says 33 minutes and 45 seconds. The last and only collectible edition, because we're talking about collectibles. Collector's edition that we regret buying. Collectible edition I bought was AC Origins. It was an instant regret, and still in the attic. No one wants to even buy it from me. Oh god! Mate. But I understand Eddie want to buy collectibles for studios because it makes it so awesome. Yeah, I like the collectibles. You guys see them around me every night.
They're a bit trash at the minute.
Yeah, in case you guys didn't realize, the whole wall fell down again. So apparently when you got here, everything was just on the floor.
Yeah. So you were late and left me to clean up and set up. And
what else are you good for?
Well, fair enough.
Runic Firebird writes in, and he says, "Ships,
God damn it,
you absolute motherfricker. You're making me work for these corrections, and I guess I understand you don't want to get absolutely flamed in front of your guest that you absolutely simped for this episode. Yames," he says right here.
Yames?
Yeah, he says Yames, but I guess he means Wames. But
or maybe he's saying because I didn't even simp on him.
You was all the time. You was like, oh, they're so funny. Everything you said was just so funny. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah, so funny.
You missed another episode, and before you say you didn't forget it, I didn't say you forgot it this time. I said you missed the segment.
God, he corrected me,
He's getting you. You're getting flamed, bro.
He's got my number. Shit.
I missed an episode. I'm saying you missed this segment, and you say you never missed an episode. So once again, you're wrong, and your count of missed episodes is up to 4 now.
Aha!
Now,
correcting Runic Firebird. I say it's never forgotten. No, wait, I do say we never miss an episode. Shit.
Damn it! Shit! Now for other corrections. Sheps was talking about God of War editions, and you called Atreus' mum Frey. How dare you?
That's it, isn't it?
Faye.
Shit. Frick!
Which is wrong because it's Faye. Also, you spelt Faye wrong. Just putting out
Aha!
Correcting Runic Firebird, just putting out there.
Jacques!
It's not F-E-Y, it's F-A-Y-E. Just putting out there. Don't worry about it.
Idiot.
Fucking moron. Secondly, I can only do this once a year, but this correction is for James. When talking about Ubisoft DLC support, James said nobody plays these Ubisoft games, but as of this video coming out right now, James is playing through the ACO. He's doing the Ezio trilogy. He was at the time of this video. The guy was chatting some bullshit. And lastly, because
I like it when we correct Wames.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
all right, yeah.
You're not going to like this now. And lastly, because you just can't get names right, Sheps, at the end of the video, you were talking about the final thoughts of God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah.
And you brought up the writer who had come to help Infinite, and you said his name was Joseph Staten, when it is actually so you said Jason Staten, when it's actually Joseph Staten. You fake gamer. Eddie, I hope you're doing well. Nothing for you this week. I mean, I'm perfect. We can...
Frick!
Yeah, he's got a thing for you, man. That's all from there. Y'all are crazy. Thank you so much. Fucking Sony ponies. Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's that for that episode. And I think everything... Okay, one more. This is on episode 100.
God. I feel like we should do episode 100 then.
Yeah.
Correcting Conbrosations, you've actually done 100 episodes when no one wanted it.
No one wanted it. Again, it's Runic Firebird. He goes, okay, we're on 6 now, bros. 6. Come on. Now, this might be late, but who cares? Y'all still need to be beefed out. This is not your favorite segment for the 4th time in a row now, bros. For shame. First, it's not Siamese. They're hairless sheps.
I
thought they were Siamese.
How do you spell Siamese? Siamese.
He spells it
cat.
Siamese.
Oh, shit.
It's not?
I was because it looks very similar. I was like, ah, no.
Giuseppe says the same thing as well. It's not Siamese cats, dude. Those got hair.
What are those hairless cats called?
Hairless cats?
Sphinx.
Ah, that's the one.
It's kind of similar.
Siamese Sphinx.
It sounds exotic, innit? Siamese. What's Siamese from?
Isn't that just like twins that are joined? Like
Siamese
where their bones are fused together or something like that.
Definition.
It sounds like a place.
It comes from Thailand, not.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like a place.
Yeah.
Anyway, he says that.
I was like, oh, if it's in Egypt, I'm calling that a dub, but it's nowhere near Egypt.
No.
Shit.
And yes, Sheps, it is the underworld, or some call it Hades for the Greek afterlife. Oh, that was because we were saying Hades thing. That threw me through a loop, by the way. When I was playing the game, I was like, Kratos speaks to Hades, and he's like, Hades. And I was like, okay. It's like, you need to break out from Hades. And I'm like, hold on, what the?
Yeah.
What's going on? So both of them are Hades?
Yeah.
You couldn't think of a better name for this?
Yeah, it's weird. Although these cats look like our brains. Look how big and wrinkly they are.
Fucking hell.
Big wrinkly ballsack brains.
Yeah, that's some ballsack right there. That's what it looks like after a shower, you know? Just like...
Yeah, I don't know if... Just now I'm looking at these cats, just talking about Silver Boys... I don't know why anyone would have one of these.
How turned on would you be if you saw your girlfriend with one of those in her arms and she was like stroking it and like massaging it?
At minus 15.
I'd be like, so you do it to the cat. Anyway, and yes, Black Panther didn't get much screen time in the Winter Soldier because he wasn't in it.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is. You freaking loser.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is.
He was... Wait, hold on. He's in Civil War.
No.
Which one is the... He only shows up in one of them, right? Shit. He was only in Civil War. Because Bucky was good then. In Winter Soldier, he wasn't good.
He is.
Man, this all blurred in my head.
In Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier.
No, that's Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
List?
Hold on, boys.
There we
Talk
go.
amongst yourselves.
The full cast and crew list of Captain America Winter Soldier. Mate, he's not there. He's right.
Civil War frig!
Damn it.
How did that put itself in my head?
The thing is that
it's because the explosion happens, right? And that's where T'Challa's dad's killed.
Yeah. But it's actually because he's okay, but he's on the run at that time.
Shit.
Honestly, those movies could have been back to back and I would have known where they stopped.
Yeah,
right.
They are pretty much one after the other, aren't they?
We'll let you have that one this time.
Yeah, we'll let you off. Look at me with my facts and being right about things.
Lastly, I'm glad to come here every week and be a part of this community. You're doing great stuff. Congratulations on 100 episodes. I hope you all keep going strong. Bro, Runic Firebird, you and all of the other guys who said congratulations, thank you all so much. I love that you guys interact so much and give us these comments because... Honestly, this little segment that we made to farm a little bit of the algorithm has turned into one of the best fucking segments.
It is actually the best, isn't it?
All right.
Except I wasn't expecting it to be this often. I was expecting it to be like, oh, you know when you said this? Like, actually, his favourite colour is blue. Like, oh, cool, it's a good little thing we didn't know.
Yeah.
And instead, it's like, no, every time you speak...
Everything you say is wrong, okay, Ships? Right. Okay. All right. Our next topic. GTA 6 is well underway. Apparently.
Okay.
But there's a lot of
let me see the receipts.
There's a lot of conversation and controversy going around here. So apparently GTA 6 is the whole development has changed from basically RDR2 and GTA 5. There's a lot less apparently crunch. There's apparently working things are a little bit more slower, even pace, so people don't get overworked as much, which is nice and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Although the thing is, the report came from Jason Schreier, and Jason Schreier seems to want to make his name for crunch. And a lot of times he's really playing shit up. So I don't know what to believe. If it's true, that's great. I don't want them to be overworked. If it's not, then fuck you, Jason Schreier. You're just a dumb idiot.
I forget who it was. No correction, because I'm not making an error. But I think it was Jason Schreier was saying, said, oh, there was crunch at this place. And then one of the devs came out and was like, I think we averaged like 44 hours a week.
I remember that.
I never saw anyone stay late.
I think it might have been.
It was a bigger studio, someone we recognized.
Yeah, and they immediately called him out on his bullshit. And then we were just, from that point on, we're like, Jason Schreier, not a reliable person to talk about crunch.
Right.
He seems to want to make it his mission to solve crunch, even where there isn't any, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway. The big news that's come out, we have got some stories, some plot points, and some things to learn from it. Apparently, you might be playing as a dual protagonist, so it could be 2 protagonists rather than 3 like it was in GTA 5.
Yep.
For the first time ever, you'll have a female protagonist. That made a huge wave. I don't understand why.
Yeah.
It's not like we haven't had female protagonists in games like Horizon Forbidden West.
They don't sell, bruv.
Horizon Forbidden West, Last of Us Part 2. All these great games that have come out recently, they haven't done amazing. Yeah. Wow, so progressive. It's never been done before.
Yeah.
I don't understand what the big wave was about that.
My big problem with it is, do we really want to show the a female, because you play as the villain. Basically, you're a villain.
A criminal, at least.
Right, that's probably a better way to put it. So I don't know if it's, the best optics. Look how progressive we are. By the way, look all the dark shit you can do.
Well, this is the thing. So apparently it's supposed to be like a Bonnie and Clyde type situation story, which sounds cool, right?
That could be interesting. Except we've been burnt on Bonnie, on this sort of thing. So do you remember Battlefield Hardline?
Yes.
Where it was supposed to be cops versus robbers. Yes. And it just sucked.
Yes.
And but it was a cool concept, and it could have been done right. They just didn't think about it. They just changed the skins. That was it.
Yeah.
And Bonnie and Clyde on the surface sounds like it could be really, really good.
Yeah.
Really good. But I don't know, man. We've just been so disappointed the last few years with exciting things that turned out to suck.
Like things that have good potential, and then it's like, oh, I didn't do it right. Well, this is the thing. They might not do this right with this because personally. This is just a rumor from someone from Jason Schreier, who's heard stuff about things inside the workings of GTA 6, right? Inside the workings of Rockstar. He's saying that apparently the whole vibe has changed a little bit, and they're trying not to quote unquote punch down to marginalized groups and stuff like that in this GTA 6 game. Now, personally, I never felt anyone was specifically attacked in previous games. I felt like they were making fun of stuff that happened in real life and maybe over embellishing things all the time.
Sure.
Everyone's always super exaggerated. That's the vibe of GTA. I mean, I'm not really white. I'm Mediterranean and stuff like that. But if someone was to look at me, they'd go, "You're a white guy, right?" Yeah. I wasn't offended that they made what was the white guy's name? Not Trevor, the other guy, the older guy. The rich one in the thing, I forgot their names. Yeah. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. The other protagonist that was white, not CJ. Was it CJ? No, it wasn't CJ.
Definitely wasn't CJ.
That's San Andreas. Anyway, the other white guy, I wasn't offended by him because he was the typical white guy that you hear about, he's going to therapy, he's living in fucking LA, he's doing yoga with his wife and shit. I wasn't I'm personally offended by this. I was like, it's a video game, and this is their thing. They take the piss out of stuff.
Well, also, your characters have to be based in reality in some sense. So it's not going to make sense for Harvard graduate lawyer to also be running small amounts of guns and cocaine on the weekends for the Crips.
Right.
if you're going to do that, it needs to fit that the general demographic of that area.
Right.
If you're working for a cartel, it's most likely you're going to be Latin American, right? And not like a Swedish guy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not like... So I think there's a difference between like punching down, which I think is kind of a stupid concept in general, because it's either like, are you doing something to be nasty or are you doing something?
Yeah.
Forget this concept of like punching down. Right, exactly. And if you're going to do gangs, it should look like it would look.
Yeah.
You can't be like, oh, well, we want to tell this gang story. We don't want to punch down anybody, so you play as Krusty the Clown.
Yeah, something that doesn't even make sense.
Right.
It's like, cool. So you've lost everything. You've lost everything.
So I just realised, trying to get out of the way from the mic, I'm going straight in front of you. Audio virgins, you don't have to worry about it.
I hope that... So, Chris, basically, is an audio virgin. I am a little bit worried. That... First of all, the size of... The amount of weight on GTA 6 is immense.
Yeah.
The hype is too high. Everything's ridiculous. Even though... While I like GTA 5, I didn't think it changed the world, but people seem to feel like it's this genre-defining, gaming-defining game. I don't personally see it, but I think it's a good game nonetheless. And I think the weight of that is all on GTA 6. And I feel like in an effort to make sure that it doesn't bomb, even though this is just what the suits are thinking, they're like, oh, well, let's make it a bit more PC. Let's make
but that's
not what GTA is. And that's my point. I feel like they're moving away from what GTA is in an effort to make sure that everyone's happy. And they're like, is everyone happy?
The thing is, they're like, oh, we don't want to like upset people, right?
Yeah.
But the problem is, people of every group love GTA, and every single one of them bangs hookers to get their health back, and then kills them to get their money back, because that's part of the game, and that's what makes it fun. And they all do it. That's how my girlfriend plays. That's how my little cousin plays. That's how I play. That's how we all play.
Yeah.
The point of GTA is that you go around doing all this pretty degenerate stuff.
Yeah.
You know? That's the point. It's escapism.
I wonder, because I didn't... Outside of the mums on Facebook... I didn't hear anything about GTA ever doing anything really bad. Yeah. In fact, that's why it's probably sold fucking 200 million copies. It's still always being sold every single day.
People are repurchasing it brand new.
Right, just because they're like, you know what, I've broken the seal on this one, I'll buy another one.
Right.
I don't know why they decided to do this. Honestly, it's just so strange to me. However... This is just a rumor. This is just Jason Schreier's reporting, so it could just be his own perspective on things pushing it. And we know that the gaming industry is, well, I don't like the whole left-leaning, right-leaning, stuff like that. The gaming industry is a very, most of the time, hardcore left situation.
Entertainment industry is.
Yes.
And I think there's a reason for it. And it's not like, oh, they want to like control the world and all that stuff. It's like creative people. I heard this really interesting thing. And it's that there's basically two types of brain makeup, generally speaking, right? And one of those is like quote unquote conservative, i.e. people like to have very focused, like this thing fits in this category, it goes in this category.
Right.
And the people that have less of that, where the lines are blurrier to them, they don't really like to categorize things like that, generally are more creative. So you're going to find that mostly creative people are going to not like to categorize things really specifically, right? And so those people are always going to want to say, well, you can't call this thing that thing, so it needs to be its own thing, right? And that follows in all kinds of thinking. So you're going to get the quote unquote. I hate this left and right, because 20 years ago, we could say left and right and know what we meant. Now, when you say left, people like there are people that think if you're right of Stalin, you're a fucking extremist. You're a Nazi. So it's so weird these days, but I know what you mean. And generally, yes, the creative types are going to be more left-leaning, but it's because of that way of thinking. It's not... I think it's that the people think a certain way, and that thinking makes its way into storytelling, and that's why the stories are so interesting, because there's never... like, oh, step 1, step 2, step 3. That's why you get twists and turns. That's what makes it so good. But if you only get those people, then no one goes, well, we actually do need to know what these things are, you know?
I think that it's I
cannot
less so
clear
far.
this right. It's like a whole spawn of frogs in my throat.
I think it's less the people that are working per se in those like creative positions.
Yeah.
While there are more people that are like left and wants that quote unquote left over in the creative positions. I think it's the people outside judging the creative people that are more influencing or trying to influence those, like Jason Schreier and whatnot. Like, I always say to myself, like, I hate the idea that people. Sorry to get all political, but I hate the idea of like Americans where they go like, "Oh, I'm left this, or I'm right that, or something." I'm like, you know,
I'm a human being.
I was gonna say,
yeah.
There's like things I might be left about, things I might be right about, because I'm a human being with a brain who has different opinions on everything.
Well, like, crazy. I'm gonna ruin your whole left-right thing. Okay,
Go on.
Taxes. Do you want more or less of them?
Less.
You're a right-wing extremist. Okay. Gay people. Do you want them all dead or not?
I don't want them.
I
I don't want them dead.
You're a left-leaning liberal.
Oh damn it! I've ruined myself.
Right. So now what are you?
Exactly.
A dynamic human being with varying opinions on varying issues.
It really got to me when it came to the abortion thing, and I was like, okay, some people will put, I'm pro-choice, for example, but I completely understand the idea that someone's like, even though that fetus isn't a baby yet or anything like that, if left untouched, it will be a baby. And I just can't live with the fact of knowing that thing's being killed. And I was like, I understand that. Whereas when they were talking about it, they were like, oh, I could never understand that. They're so dumb. I don't want to get too political.
But I had it just because it was a really great image for this. Because everybody says, well, you know, it's not, it's a fetus, it's a bunch of cells. First of all, I actually know embryology, so don't go freaking lecturing me.
Don't try chatting, exactly.
But this guy goes, okay, look, I'm making you a birthday cake. I get all the ingredients in a bowl, and then someone mix it all up. Someone comes up and knocks the bowl on the ground. You don't go, oh no, my ingredients. You go, my birthday cake.
Yes.
Because, yes, at the minute it's just ingredients, but it was gonna be your birthday cake. And I was like, you know what? That's a really great way to explain the image, like that thought process. And this is my big problem. Forget of all things like quote unquote politics, whether it's like left leaning stuff in gaming or not. Like we heard so much as the trans thing in The Last of Us blown way out of proportion. It's ridiculous. Aloy being, what was it, like Aloy was fat or something ridiculous,
not feminine enough,
stupid. And the problem really is that people are like, oh, you're pro-choice or
pro-life.
Yeah, that's it, right? Like, and it's you're either one or the other, and you hate the others, and it's like, well, and the other side is evil. Well, hold on, maybe both sides have actually viable things
something
here,
to say,
and you might never agree, but don't think that like you're pro-choice or you hate women, you want them to die, or like you're murdering babies. Like those are the only two options. Or maybe both sides just see one thing as worse than the other, and that there is an issue on either side, and also there are incredibly crazy people on both sides. There are some people like all babies always, you know, like you know, you have to have all, like every nut should be considered a baby. You know,
that's the thing.
And then there are some people that are like, I'm just gonna go I haven't had one, I'm gonna go have an abortion.
Yeah,
like, that's not how to do this. It's not a Big Mac.
Do you know what? Today's a Tuesday. I feel like an abortion.
Yeah, and you do see these crazies who are like, I'm gonna wind up some conservatives. I'm gonna go and just have an abortion. Like, no, why would you do that? Also, it's a medical procedure. This is
it's not a pleasant thing as well.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, people are crazy, and this is the problem: is it works its way into. Do you know what I think it is? You know, you said you think it's outside influences, because a lot of programmers are generally. There are programmers that are very sociable and stuff, but a lot of them, especially in gaming, we get this generalization that they're like mostly introverted, don't want to rock the boat, make any waves. The majority of people making the games, right? Who are going to hear someone say, oh, well, this is a problem, and they're going to go, oh, well, I don't want to cause any problems, I don't want to offend anyone, I will just change that. You know?
Yeah.
And that's what it is because they don't realize that the people that they're hearing are these loud crazies. Because no one hears the guys like you and me, like we just had a proper Abortion debate, a discussion, right? All you ever hear is all babies, all the time, or
these
like
people are just here murdering kids.
Everyone, abort it all.
They show a picture of a 3-year-old. Would you kill this? It's like that's not what they're doing. That's not what majority anyone is doing.
I'm pro 600-month abortions.
Yeah,
you know. Wait,
anyway,
what's 600? Hey Siri, how many years is 600 months?
5 years.
Definitely more. 50 years. Up to 50 years.
I was gonna say,
Up to 50 years, the mother can still abort.
her life might be in danger. You never know. I was way off by the 5 years, by the way.
A little bit.
Let's get back into gaming. So GTA 6.
Thanks for joining us for politics talk, boys.
Yeah, we did that with gym talk in the Conbrosations podcast. Apparently, we inspired Ben to go to the gym. So fucking great.
Oh, good. Which Ben?
Ben?
There's 15 of them.
Tall Ben, the one that's taller than a house, the one that made you look like a literal midget when he went to the gym. He really did, yeah. To be fair, he made me look like a fucking midget. The guy had stupid toys, unnatural. It's gonna be the thing he doesn't know is that when you're taller, lifting weights is harder for you. Yeah. Because you literally have to travel more distance for things like that.
And also, the same amount of muscle on his frame is going to look like nothing. On my frame, it's going to look a lot more.
Yeah, exactly. This much of muscle on a smaller arm. Whereas him, it's like, nah. Anyway, keep going, bro. Keep up.
Yeah, go for it, dude.
GTA 6, excited for the Bonnie and Clyde story. I think it sounds cool. However, if Jason Schreier is to be believed, it could be taken away.
That
the
was your big problem there.
GTA.
That if Jason Schreier is to be believed, just like ignore Jason Schreier, ignore games journalists. Seriously, can you trust? Name one you trust.
I can't. I literally can't.
Me neither.
There's none of them.
Me neither.
Our next topic. So this is a fairly big one. So currently, Microsoft is having some issues, specifically in Brazil, with regards to the Activision Blizzard deal that's going through.
Yeah.
I don't 100% understand why Brazil is so impacted by this, but I guess it's a unilateral decision needs to be made by everybody and whether or not everyone agrees to this whole idea.
Yeah.
Anyway, what it is Brazil conducted a bunch of interviews with all of the prominent publishers to find out whether or not they would be affected or what their feelings are on the Activision Blizzard deal going through Microsoft. Because I guess these lawmakers, they don't understand what gaming is or what the hell is going on. So they did the right thing and went out to the people who make games to see their opinions on it and to make their judgment based on that. Mostly, people don't give a shit about Activision Blizzard being bought by Microsoft.
Yeah.
Mostly. The only two people that do care, funnily enough, Sony and Microsoft.
Yes.
Only people that care about it.
Right? Now Brazil.
And Brazil for some reason, right? Now, there is a long paragraph that gets read here, but I'll give you the summary. Sony basically saying, if the deal goes through, then they have too much leverage over with things like Call of Duty, big games, and they could potentially sway people's purchasing decisions into buying whatever console.
Yeah.
When you say it like that, it sounds like a bit of a stupid statement because PlayStation does almost the same sort of thing when they have their own exclusives.
Literally the exact same
thing. However, they didn't mean it like that. They meant they're like they're purchasing something that is already huge, and that is going to make people's decisions based on that. Whereas making your own IP, fostering it, nurturing it, and making it a big thing, that's slightly different. That's
the big difference.
That's what they meant. And while I agree with Sony on that, I feel like Sony's being a little bit of a bitch on this. It's competition, and while it's a bit of a shitty situation, and they're using their wallet to outbid you on something, PlayStation, you've got the recipe for success. You don't.
I just think
you just sound like a little bitch. I know that this is you have to do this because it's your livelihood, but you sound like a little bitch. Okay.
I do worry that like the Microsoft model, you know, I was saying they're making a 50-year play for entertainment. What if they're making a 15-year play to just take enough business away from Sony so PlayStation dies and then they can have it all? Because they can stomach a 15, 20-year loss just because just their servers make so much money.
That's literally what I feel like they're doing. They're tired of being on the losing side all the time, tired of being left behind everyone.
Right. So if there's only one side,
They're going to buy everything.
We all win when we all play.
The only thing is that they have to choose to whether or not to live or die by this one purchase, because the next purchase won't go through.
Yeah.
The next purchase will never go through, mark my words, because if they're having this much attrition on this, they're never going to get to the next one.
Like, they could pick up another few, like, single-digit billion companies, probably.
True. But I mean, if they wanted to make a big wave, then they'd be like, next we're buying Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Next we're buying, even though Ubisoft don't make anything good, but that's what they'd have to do. Anyway, that was PlayStation's stance. Again, I feel like they're being a little bit of a bitch, but this is their legal teams. They have to. This is what lawyers do. Sometimes they say stupid stuff just because they want their point. They want to win.
Yeah.
So they'll say stupid stuff just so they can win, and that's
why you hire lawyers. So they say the dumb things.
Exactly.
And you don't have to. And you go, well, this is... Never get lawyers involved in anything you can have lawyers not be involved in.
Exactly.
You know?
And speaking of dumb things that lawyers have said, Microsoft said exactly something stupid, right?
Sick.
So this is a direct quote from the Microsoft Xbox court filing, right?
Right.
In a defense to what Sony was saying, saying that Call of Duty is this big thing and, you know, it could influence these decisions, Xbox say, there is nothing unique about the video games developed by us or by Activision that is a must-have. What a fucking shit way of... That's a shit thing to say to yourself. That's a self-burn and a half right there. It's like, we do nothing good. Everything we do is absolute garbage. No one is...
Imagine you open a restaurant and you like send out flyers and you're like, hey, we make burgers, but to be honest, you'd be better off cooking at home.
Right?
Cheaper, probably tastes better.
Right? And this is what I'm saying when lawyers say dumb things just so they can win their point.
Yeah.
They're literally saying, it's like, Microsoft, they're garbage. I don't know why anyone buys anything from them, because they do nothing good. Everyone does things better than us just so they can get their point, just so they can win.
Yeah.
What a stupid thing to say.
It's that's insane.
It's so fucking insane. Both sides say ridiculous things. I thought it was absolutely hilarious to bring up. Obviously, the fanboys took it to the extreme. They were like, you see, Xbox is saying they've got nothing and you fanboys are buying their stuff. And then they turn around and go, you see, Sony is scared in their boots from the Activision deal that they're going to be out of business in 2 years. Watch, guys. And they was like, oh, my God.
I kind of love watching like the actual Sony ponies and the Xbox go out, because it's just like, you're both idiots.
Yeah.
You're both really stupid. And the best thing is those ponies are just Xbox. They happen to be on the winning side. Yeah, they happen to be on the side where it's true. Yeah. But like, not because they're smart. They just happen to be here. Yeah. And it's like, you don't realize that you're an idiot, do you?
Yeah. They're all saying dumb things like, there's just one guy who's genuinely a moron. Genuinely an absolute moron. And I've got him muted, but somehow his pictures always circulate around the internet about his like tweets. Okay. And he's like, I'm glad that PlayStation are quaking in their boots over this acquisition. In 2 years, they'll be dead in the water. And I was like, like, yeah. And then the same as the other way.
And the thing is, as well, he'll back that up. Be like, well, that wasn't me. That's an analyst, a business analyst that said that. It's like, okay, a guy that just doesn't know what they're talking about, or was maybe paid to say that. Do you honestly think that no company would slip a few extra dollars in someone's pocket to say something damning about their competitor? And like, I mean, if it's in cash, how are they ever going to know?
Yep.
You know, like, really? Do we really think this didn't happen? I mean, I'm just saying.
Oh boy, here we go. Yeah, and that's going on with PlayStation and Xbox. I feel like it's just comedy to me. Yeah. Just seeing the crap that they say. The thing is,
right now, it's comedy because the acquisition hasn't gone through. I will be a little bit concerned if it does go through. I think the best version is actually it doesn't go through and Xbox decide we need to double down and make some games. That won't happen. Either the acquisition will happen or won't. I don't see them going through. It's like, I mentioned that tweet with George where he was saying about the Halo Forge and stuff, and if they bring out Infected and some of those good, game modes, that they could really bring back Halo Infinite. And I said, like, that would be great, and I think it would actually work, but sadly they won't do it. Because look how they treated this was their flagship IP. And if they didn't have it ready, whatever makes you think they'll double down now that it's died, when it, where it wasn't there with its best shot to take off.
Yeah.
And it bugs me because Microsoft have the resources. They've dissected the recipe. They know what it takes to make a good game. They're getting a good story, and they're not doing it. And I think money is their crutch. They're just buying up other places. So I think it would be bad if they get Activision, because I don't see them being fair.
Yeah.
And I think it would be bad if they don't get it, because they won't have any games for Xbox guys. Like, I don't see a good world for our version of Microsoft yet, unless they change and make something.
My problem with this whole thing is that it shows that you've admitted defeat when you don't invest in your own studios or invest in your own IP to make them great. That you go out and instead you're just going to buy the IP and hopefully buy the teams that will hopefully give you the good games in the end. But the problem is that Microsoft aren't thinking far enough ahead. They're thinking about making these big headlines and hopefully tricking enough people to come on. Because once you have those teams, you have to do the thing that you should have done in the first place, which was make the great games, invest in the good stories, invest in the good IP to make them great. If you just do the same thing again, then you just got a shit ton of IP and a shit ton of games, and then crappy shit that you did before.
They already have a bunch of IPs anyway.
Exactly.
Like, how long have I been talking about Rare and Banjo, anything Banjo? And I think it would slap. And what's worse is, they can see the chatter when that rumour dropped. They could see the spike in chatter and never thought, oh, maybe we should make that game.
Silly. Don't be silly. Don't be silly.
You got free market research here. And they were like, yeah, cool, never mind. Let's just buy a different company that also has a bunch of its own problems.
Yeah.
Both companies have a bunch of their own problems.
I think I had a look as well. So everyone posted their financials for the last quarter. Both Microsoft and Sony announced like a little dip in their Q3, I think it is, of financials or whatever it is. Apparently, it's just sort of like the pandemic's over, so like some people are going back to work, so there's a bit of a dip. Yeah. Whatever they're saying, it's all about the same. However, Activision Blizzard showed a massive drop in profits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's probably because like the allegations that happened have finally taken its toll. People are kind of over Diablo Immortal, even though apparently one guy spent $100K on
I heard
on
about
microtransactions.
That, and I just...
The worst part is apparently he spent $100K, became the best player, and now he can't matchmake with anyone because he's way too outclassed for anyone that's in the game. And I'm like, so you just spent $100K for nothing? No.
I mean, look, maybe he's a Saudi prince or something,
Maybe.
right? So so at least he's not like this person hasn't really spent any of their hard-earned money on it, you know? Fingers crossed. In a weird way, I kind of hope that, because imagine a guy that makes really good money and spent like, even if he makes $1 million a year, spent 10% of his... Yeah. Do you imagine that, right? And then can't play the game. But like, okay, I feel like Blizzard in particular, have lent on 3 games over the like StarCraft, World of Warcraft, and Overwatch for 15 years.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, come on, you got to do something else here now, you know?
Yeah.
And Overwatch 2 is just a reskin. It's barely even a reskin. They did what we've always been saying is, if you want to add new maps, just make night and day modes, right? But there were already night and day modes of some of those maps in the game. Like, it's really questionable, you know? I don't know, man.
That's all we have to talk about that topic. It's just funny to discuss the crap that they've been saying. Let us know what you think about it in the comment section. And our final topic, PlayStation VR 2.
Yes.
So they have slowly been drip feeding us information about PlayStation VR 2. We've got the name, we've got the look of the headset, we've got an early look, quote unquote, of PlayStation VR 2's user experience. And it looks really, really cool. For those of you guys that have a Quest 2 or Oculus Quest 2, you might see some of these features before. They're just really cool features. It's a bit like the ping system that happened in Apex. Yeah. It's just one of those things that are great, so PlayStation VR is doing
adopts it, yeah.
a bunch of cool things. Because it has cameras facing outwards and that's how it tracks, it now has a see-through view where you can hit a button and you can see your surroundings without taking the headset off.
So you don't have to punch your TV or anything. Yeah.
Exactly. But even better, it uses those cameras as well to create like a dynamic environment. So it scans where your couch is, where your wall is, where your TV is, so you don't go too far
Basically,
into those
it plans
areas.
out the map and your movement. It was like, oh, there's a turn here because otherwise you're going to walk into his coffee table.
Exactly. And also you can set up your own custom areas where you can like literally draw on the ground how far you want to go, and it'll set up walls so when you get too close to it, it goes, oh, you're going too far, which is really cool. It's a really cool little feature there. I really liked it and I loved everything they were showing off. I thought it was really awesome. However, there is some stuff we need to talk about. We still don't have a release date for this, despite having all of this information, and I'm beginning to think that it's not going to come out this year.
Really?
I thought it was going to come out this year, but I'm beginning to think
you
it's
thought
not.
2022 was going to be the year for gaming, didn't you?
Exactly. They might be delaying it because like it's still hard to find a PlayStation 5, but I hear it's getting easier. I think, a few people in our community have been saying they've been able to get it. But here's the big thing. What did we say? What did we land on what the price would be for this? I think I said something around $449, right?
I think, something like that. About the price of a PlayStation.
And I think you said it might be a bit more expensive and whatnot.
I don't remember. But
I don't 100% remember either. But regards to the price, the Oculus Quest 2 did something really strange recently. And they announced they are raising the price of this already sold item that's already out on the market by $100.
What?
Yeah. I've never seen something like this before in my life. Like, imagine you go out and you go, there's a phone comes out on the market and it's £500, right?
Hey, it's 2 years old.
We're raising the price. Never heard that. Never heard that in my life. Anyway, that's what they're saying they're doing. I don't understand why. There's not really an explanation. They're just like investment into PSVR. But wasn't that the whole price of wasn't that supposed to be built into the cost and whatnot? How are you going to try and sell that to somebody? Be like, we're raising the price arbitrarily almost. You're still getting the same product.
We've already done the R&D.
Nothing extra is coming in this. They are throwing in Beat Saber, but who gives a fuck?
Beat Saber's like a staple. Like, it's not hard to find.
And I'm sure that's like $20, whatever it is. It's not a big thing. But we're charging you $100 more. Don't understand it. But that made me think that we haven't got the price yet for PlayStation VR 2. Do you think that there's something about VR that costs more, and do you think maybe the price of PlayStation VR 2 is going to be higher than we expect because this has gone up or anything like that?
I gotta be honest, I actually sort of think PSVR 2 they're going to try and come in low.
That's what I thought, because like you do still need the PlayStation 5 to go with it.
Yeah, exactly.
And PlayStation, even with the first one, they were trying to get in and be the lowest one out there, and I think they were the lowest price headset out there. It
feels to me like they're making a PS3 play with the Blu-ray player, where they're going to be like, okay, this is one of the better headsets, and it's also the most cost-efficient way to do it, even if you need a PS5.
Yeah.
You know, because if you think about it, okay, you want to play VR, right? What's an Oculus cost, plus the gaming rig to run it? Like, okay, you're into it for at least, $1,200, roughly.
Yeah.
Realistically, starting. And this, if they come in and go, okay, look, to get in, PS5 and PSVR 2, $800. You know. Yeah. Okay. You know?
I'm in two minds. It could be like that.
Yeah. But then you could see it being $600 as well.
I could, because the thing with the PlayStation VR 1 was low cost, but it was the lowest entry in terms of specs. Yeah. It was only really attractive because everyone had a PlayStation 4 and it could run off a PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
This, however, this time, I think nearly all of the specs, despite one, I think it was might be the field of view, is a little bit shorter than like Oculus.
But otherwise, it's up there.
Otherwise, every other spec is higher than any other VR headset on the market.
And you need a PS5, and hardly anyone has them.
Exactly. So it makes me think that maybe it's going to be more expensive. I don't know.
But maybe, I don't know.
I wish I could know the reason for the price hike in the Quest 2, though, so I could accurately gauge. It's strange, right? Like, Yeah, I've never heard of any product going up in price.
It's bizarre.
Afterwards.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
The only thing that I've ever heard is stuff that's like fluid, like petrol prices or gold or whatever it might be. That I can understand.
Or something with like second-hand cars, but not because of the car, it's because of the chips and people need cars.
Yeah. The demand for cars is higher. Yeah. The demand for headsets are not higher.
No.
It's a niche product in a niche market.
That's the thing. It is a niche product in a niche market. It's not a niche product.
Yeah.
It's not a niche market. It's a niche product in a niche market.
Yeah.
It's like the smallest scoop of pie, slice of pie.
You should be begging for people to come to you, not the other way around.
And if you want it to be a bigger slice of the pie, you need to make it as easy to get into it as possible, and then way over deliver on the experience, and then more people adopt it, and then on the PSVR 3 you can make a killing.
Yeah.
So what are we doing here, boys?
I don't know.
It's weird, isn't it? It's a weird one.
A few little bits of minor news. Xbox have their own God of War.
What?
Basically, someone has made a shameless knockoff of God of War.
Deity of conflict.
I don't know what it's called actually. I'm gonna send you the link on Discord and you can have a look at it. It just looks like God of War. However, it's very, very bad. Like the movements and everything of it just looks so terrible.
No.
Like they've copied the skin, the model.
It looks like the old school, was it like PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2 Star Wars Episode 1 game?
Yeah.
But then they put Kratos in it. Or like they've made it out of Fortnite.
War God Zeus of Child.
The thing is, I hope that's made by an English. It's not someone who's like, you know, from India and like didn't pay attention to English in school, so they're just like, oh, it's God of War, he has a kid, and just puts all the words in, doesn't care about the order.
That's an accident.
Right. I hope this guy is like some just modder sitting in his home in like Seattle, you know?
Have you seen the gameplay? There's a video below.
Let's have a look. Oh no.
I'll put the link so you guys can see in the description.
It's awful.
It's so bad. It's so bad. Like the legs are planted, like the waist is like in one spot and the camera's attached to it.
No.
Oh man.
What is this animation where he swings it over his head?
I need to play this game.
There's a thing that just came up on the screen for the guy playing it. I began laughing so loud, my mic cut out.
That's crazy.
It is. Please tell me you can put this on screen.
Do you know what, fuck it. I'm going to do it. I've put a timestamp. I'll do that for you guys.
Oh, God. That's just... What's that animation with the axe over his head?
It's like his waist is static, and then his whole top body is like jelly, and it just goes over like that.
This is a stream game for you.
Honestly, I hope it's on PC because I don't know how I can play this on Xbox.
What was that? Oh my God! Oh, now he's just moving backwards and nothing's moving. You need to find this.
It's going to be the God of War Stan plays God of War on Xbox.
That's right. The way God intended. With the Dualsense.
I'll hack the Xbox so it can work. And then one final thing. Sony apparently have patented a PS5 gamepad with haptic feedback in the analog sticks.
I don't like the sound of that at all.
Yeah, this is an Icarus flying too close to the sun moment. They've struck gold with the DualSense controller, and they're like, people were like, haptics, put it on everything, so we're making condoms, and we're gonna make haptic condoms now.
Yeah, right. I wonder if this isn't a case of like the 6-axis, where it's like we can see it having lots of uses, and there's probably uses we can't even think of. So let's put it in and see what people come up with, and then no one came up with anything because it just wasn't good. And they're like, okay, haptic's been good. Let's just add more to it and see if anyone comes up with anything good. But I feel like maybe you just don't do this one.
Yeah.
Like the place for haptic is in the VR ones, you know, the hands. That's going to be really good. But analog sticks.
You know what it makes me think they're going to use
like
it
a
for?
flight simulator type thing though, where like you get hit and then the plane pulls away.
Terrain, pull up. I'm trying to pull up, it won't come back.
Yeah.
Ah! You literally have the strength. Like, babe, come in here and you help me pull up this stick. Ah! I was thinking
I'm not falling for that one. Not again.
Just reach into the Pringle can. What it made me think of was like, there are some games where like maybe it's trying to simulate you're drunk.
Yes.
And you're trying to walk in a straight line and it goes like that. However, I've never liked that.
I hate that in games.
I've never do you know what the best section of this game? The drunk section.
Was when the screen lost focus and, oh mate, I had that in Stray. I got my head stuck in a bag.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it like...
I didn't know what to do. I was like,
how do you get it out? And I guess it's just a set amount of time and it takes it off. But it's like, in a weird way, it was kind of cute.
Yeah.
I still didn't like it.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like a horseshoe version of latency. I want it to do a thing, and it's not doing the thing that it should be doing. And this is different to me not knowing the controls. Right? I know the controls. I want it to turn left, and for some reason I'm turning right, and it just sort of did x-axis or y-axis inversion. Why did we do this? That's not how fire pilots do it.
That's literally how I feel whenever I get the control from you, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck? What is going on? Ah, fuck, of course, it's dickhead to know.
I heard a streamer the other day, just totally random. I was on Twitch, and they were on the front page, I think it was. Yeah. And they were saying, weirdly, they go, just out of context, oh yeah, I think I started playing inverted because of Halo. For some reason, they played it, and it was set to inverted, and that's just how they always played. And I do remember Halo being the game I started playing inverted on, and because it just felt better, for something, it felt good, and I stuck with it. But I don't remember Halo being set to inverted.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it ever was. So maybe there was like a bug or a glitch where it got set to inverted without anyone touching it, and then I got used
Halo
to it.
For being abnormal.
Well, he was told he was a freak and then changed, and I said, no, it's the world that's wrong. I support our brave men and women of Her Majesty's Royal Air Force.
You remind me of that guy. You saw the tweet that I posted of this. He's a Souls player, Souls streamer.
Yeah.
And he was saying, I played God of War for 45 minutes, and I just don't understand why you people like games like this. That is just a movie where every now and again they just sit down, watch the movie. Oh yeah, now you can press a button, and now sit down again. And he's talking about God of War. If I didn't mention that, he's saying God of War is just a movie where every now and again you press a QTE and that's it.
I mean, I'll be honest. That description of it sounds awful.
Sounds awful, exactly. If you lie about what the game is, then yeah, of course it's gonna sound awful. And I was like, a lot of people were like, tell me you haven't played a God of War without telling you playing.
Tell me you limit yourself to.
to single player narrative games. Tell me you don't play indie games. But anyway, that's what it sounds like, because the way that this guy was portraying it was like the overwhelming majority of people love this game, but they are all wrong.
Literally everyone that's played it.
They are all wrong. They are all the freaks. I'm the one that's right. And that's like you with inversion. It's like everyone else is wrong.
The thing is, but this is the thing. That's worse. That's way worse, because I don't think anybody else is wrong. I totally know I'm in a minority. It's like being left-handed.
Yeah.
Like, yes, realistically, left-handed people and people that play inverted should all be put down. Yes. Just give them the old yellow.
Sorry, Timmy.
But because we're not going to do that, like, I don't go, oh, well, people that don't play inverted, they're not normal, right? There's something wrong with them. That's where the problem is. Like, oh, I don't get it. No one should like this. They're all lying, or it's all stupid. No. The game's good. Like, sometimes everybody consensus does mean that they're correct. Yeah. There's a whole like, oh, at some point everybody thought the world was flat, right? Like, okay, yeah, consensus on its own doesn't mean people are right. But sometimes when it's the right thing, there will be consensus.
Yeah. It's like when James is like always talking about how like, oh, Zack Snyder's Justice League and all of Zack Snyder's movies are terrible. It's like, yeah, but the overwhelming majority,
anyone that saw it and isn't like you.
At what point do you need to rethink your thought? Okay, all right, you idiot, fucking Wames, fucking Wames. Anyway, that's that.
Frickin' Wames.
Let's kick it over to our boys who who, first of all, let me just check Patreon, because I don't know if there was any comments there. I think it was just Discord today.
Yeah. Well, so by the way, boys, if your name got missed or anything on Patreon, it's a motherfucker. It's the start of the month. There might be some like changeover renewal things, so you'll be there next week. Yeah. Don't worry about that. Also, don't blame us. It's not a correction. It's correcting Patreon, not correcting Conversations, okay? Go and send them an email to corporate, to head office. Let's have a look. Where are we?
On Discord. Let's kick it off with our boy Tailgate. Do you want to read his first comment out?
Yeah, boy.
The first one on there.
Tailgate says, what games would you guys like to see get remasters, not remakes? Interesting. So then that's going to make it relatively newer PS3, PS4.
Yeah. What game? I mean, the classics come to mind. Crazy Taxis, which is apparently happening. Yeah. Simpsons Hit and Run.
Well, would you consider those remasters? I think if we're going to remake, if we get a new Crazy Taxi, it's a remake. Yeah. They're going to make the game from the ground up.
I wouldn't mind if they did a remaster of them.
Me neither.
That's the thing, because they're still so
ridiculous.
Great.
Simpsons Hit and Run. I would
that fluid feeling of like the car just flying around endlessly and whatnot.
I mean, you went back and played Halo 1, right? How much fun is the Warthog?
Yeah, they're just all over the place. Yeah, fucking tank snappers all day.
Yeah, it's like you're like ice skating.
I was like, hold on a second, how has this just got no traction? It's like these chunky tires with these ridges. Nothing.
It always felt like you were trying to ice skate in a kayak. You know, that's how it feels, isn't it? And then the motherfuckers give you the time event to get off the Halo ring. Like, what are you doing?
They're like, everything's blowing up. Well, give me something half stable.
Somehow, it's one of my iconic moments in gaming. It was so good. What would you get? So what would you... He specifically says remasters, not remakes. Yeah. So I guess...
like something that's good and doesn't feel dated.
Jedi
just needs a
Fallen
bumping
Order.
thing. Yeah?
I could see that getting remastered. Where it's like higher frame rate, no freaking glitches.
I think that's too recent still. I think that's still too
Battlefront
recent.
2 as well, another Star Wars thing. Ooh. Battlefront 2 that would frick hard.
Yeah.
That would be good.
I'm trying to think of anything else.
Blops 1.
Black Ops 2. Or Black Ops 1.
Black Ops 1, yeah.
Black Ops 1 was definitely the best.
Yeah.
But Black Ops 2 is a bit more modern, so
it was more modern.
But if you give that a remaster, that'd be nice. I sometimes see that online where it's like, tell me what your favorite game is ever, shooter FPS is ever, and why is it Black Ops 2? And I was like,
but it wasn't 2 though.
1. That's the one.
2 wasn't good. The other thing is, like, of all the CODs, you got like COD 4. World at War wasn't as popular, but it was very good. Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 1, all better than Black Ops 2. You know, and the problem is everybody making that comment, that's their first COD. Yeah. And everybody loves the COD that they started with, but that doesn't make it the best COD. COD 4 was my first COD, and I love it. I love it to bits. Has issues. Yeah. And Black Ops 1 was a better game. Yeah. And Modern Warfare 2 was more fun.
And it was the one that introduced the Mason. What are the numbers, Mason?
The Mason.
What do they mean?
The numbers. And it brought zombies really into the mainstream. Because World at War, it had zombies in there. I played a ton of it, but it was still niche. It was very small.
Yeah. And they made it a thing in Black Ops 1.
Black Ops 1 was a great game. I would love to see Black Ops 1 get remastered.
He says, I would personally like to see Metal Gear Rising Revengeance get a remaster. I played the game once at a mate's house. It was really fun.
Is that the one with the 4-hour cutscene?
I'm not sure. I'm not the biggest Metal Gear fan to know all of the options and whatnot. A game like Rising running at 60 FPS would be a great experience, and its soundtrack is amazing. Given that Metal Gear Rising has a resurgence in popularity lately due to all the memes, surprised Platinum haven't considered one, or maybe they have and are just going through the legal rights and the limbo with Konami. It's possible, although Konami seem to be very hard to work with, so
I'm trying to think. Yeah. I'm trying to think what other games would make for good remasters, but not, from the skeleton up remakes. What do we play the last few years?
Honestly, the only things I just go way back and I just keep thinking about like I said,
Infamous Second Son.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Or
and Infamous 2.
I keep seeing all the time people posted like, how does Infamous still look so good? And I see these screenshots and I'm like, is that really it? Because it looks great.
It's a really good looking game.
It was good looking then as well. So I mean,
it was really good looking then. I think the reason that people weren't talking about it was because TVs hadn't caught up to how good the average TV was, like 720.
I'm still saying people slept on it, I'm sure, and there were some issues with it and there was some bad press around it, but the Order 1886 is still one of the best looking games
Visually stunning
ever, and it was like close to launch on PS4. Crazy.
I always beef up the Order 1886 because I felt really hard done by it, but I would like to get that remade and make it, a full game.
Get the sequel that was clearly planned and just put it into the first one and make it a full-length game.
I feel like, realistically, you could take the sequel, make it into a full-length game, and then take the third movie or game and turn it into the second game, because they obviously had this stuff planned, and it's not going to be hard for, like, a steampunk Victorian world where like werewolves, was it werewolves or vampires?
Yeah, they were lichens,
that's it. So werewolves, where that's a thing to work in another thing. Like, remake that, give me a complete, man, it was good looking.
The thing that I hated the most about that is that because I like that game a lot, I obviously read more into the lore that they were trying to build here, and the world that they set up was so cool and so imaginative. To have that all be thrown away is just so annoying, and not that it didn't deserve to be thrown away. As I said, like they tried to fool people into thinking that this was a fully fledged game when really it was like part one of a full game. I agree all of those points and whatnot, but the world was so good and they made such a great system. I was like, I want to get that.
And I don't think I've done a good enough job of explaining why I hated the Order 1886, and it's for those reasons. It's because the world was so good. It's because the game was so much fun to play. It's because the lore was excellent, and my God, was it gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then it was 8 hours or something when I was expecting 20.
Yeah.
Or however
it was 8 hours, but that's including cutscenes. And like the actual playable time was like 3. Right. And I was like, so this is a full price game.
And that's the thing, they charged full price. It wasn't a £30 game. It was or I guess like today it would be 30, right? It wasn't like that. They charged us like today it would be the full 70. Yeah. It was 8 hours long, 3 hours playable, 5 hours playable. It just wasn't very much. And worse, almost worse, the world was incredible. The lore was incredible. It was fun to play. It was engaging the whole way through. It was gorgeous. I mean, stunning. Yeah. So good looking. I didn't have any... For once, I had no problems playing the game. No glitches. Hardly any. None that I can remember, right? And then it ends and I'm like, cool. Fade to black. Why am I seeing credits?
That's just it.
This is a transition, right? And that's why I'm so angry, because I was expecting another 14 hours of game, and for it to be up there in my easy top... If it was that length, if it was the 14-hour game and they completed it, top 10 game, no joke, possibly top 5. I really vibed with it. It was so good. There's so much good about it, and they did us so dirty.
Yeah.
Good pick, though.
Yeah. I think all the guys basically responded to his comment there.
BS Bro 1, Trekkie, Alpha Quilele says, I'd love an Arkham Origins remaster. Nothing else jumps to mind except for Death Rally console port, so I don't have to play on PC like a peasant. Side note, I love snow in games. It's just great. What happened to that game Snow we saw at EGX?
Yeah. We'll do a little Google search on that.
Because that's one of the things that's cool about EGX is we get to go around as like content creators and actually speak to devs, and they're willing to talk to you. Diogo, the Multiverse Saga says, or hashtag the Multiverse says, Multiverse Saga, Jesus Christ. I'm with Alpha here. Arkham Origin needs it to complete that collection. Also fix the bugs that cause many crashes. Remake Spider-Man PS1. Well, we're talking remastered, you freaking idiot.
You moron.
Akin to how Bluepoint does them. Great game that still holds up today, but new graphics can't hurt. And adding camera controls. Oh my God, that was the worst thing about that game. No camera control. Ultimate Spider-Man remaster can't hurt. Yeah.
So it's really hard to find a game called Snow when you have no other things to put in. It's like Snow game.
We followed the devs though, didn't we?
Yeah, I know. I don't know what the.
BS Bro 2 hashtag Brendan Fraser simp. That's another thing. Brendan Fraser was going to be the villain in the Batgirl movie, and that's where I really hate it, because I think he's excellent. I love
Done
Brendan
dirty.
Fraser. And also like he's just getting his career back after like a bunch of stuff he's dealt with from the industry, and he's the highlight of Doom Patrol. Oh my god, he's so good. He's so good. And I want more Brendan Fraser in my life. I'm sad that he went away. You know, like those Mummy movies were so good. George of the Jungle was so good. That's my childhood. And it's cool seeing him back. And then he could have been a villain, and we never get to see him as a villain.
Yeah.
Like that would have been. Oh. Anyway, BS Bro. #2 Brendan Fraser Simp says, "I'd love to see Infamous." Why are you stealing my comments, bruv?
Yeah, what a fucker. Is that T?
It is.
Bastard.
This freaking guy.
Bastard.
I'd love to see an Infamous series or some old PS games getting a remaster, but I guess those need more of a remake. I'd like to talk. Is that supposed to be? I'd like to talk about God of War Ragnarok.
I think so.
Who doesn't? So I want to get the digital deluxe. Okay, yeah, he does want to talk about God of War. I want to get the digital deluxe edition because of all the extra stuff I get. Sony decided to take one step forward and give us a release date and open pre-orders a few days later, right? But those motherfuckers took 2 steps back by removing one choice of purchase, which now forces people to pay 10 extra for a console they don't own. Example, Horizon Forbidden West had standard 70, digital deluxe 80, digital deluxe and PS5 upgrade 90, and Ragnarok has the standard at 70, digital deluxe and PS5 upgrade is 90. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Why am I now being forced to spend $10 extra for? So this is where we do have an issue. If we're paying 70, right, for the PS5 stuff, that should be built into the 70.
Yeah, this is stupid. This is the 90 doesn't make sense, because if it was the standard PlayStation 4 price, $60, the digital deluxe $10 more, $70.
Right.
For PlayStation 5 it should be 70 and then 80. You don't need the PS5 upgrade built into the digital deluxe version and make it 90, because that should already be at 80. This is PlayStation. They do it like we've said, like you said in this, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. They just do this dumb shit sometimes that is only hindering themselves. Doesn't make any sense. And it's this dumb period where we have multi-platform, multi-generation games.
Thanks, Xbox.
Once we're past it, we'll be done. But the way that Sony are handling the dumb shit is just stupid on their part.
It's because Sony is a bunch of Japanese businessmen, and so they don't. Sony's been really weird because their marketing team's very agile and makes really good plays, and their business practices are very 45 to 50, 65-year-old Japanese businessmen. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's very weird. And then Tiago says, "You're paying for quality. Games are expensive to make." Yeah, greedy Sony, and I'm with you there. Also, Horizon Forbidden West's digital deluxe with PS5 upgrade shouldn't have cost extra because it had a free upgrade. Scummy Sony, am I right? Yeah, I agree with you. Frick 'em. Also, why are they making me pay for a game that only has a female protagonist? No one wants a female protagonist. They don't sell games.
To be fair, when they announced they had a female
and a redhead,
protagonist,
a ginger, soulless as well.
When they announced it, they should have said, because this is a female protagonist, obviously we have to lower the price. Half price right now.
Yeah, we skimped on the protagonist. So, and think about it. They saved 30% on the protagonist actor. Because you only had to get paid 77 yen to the... What's a penny in yen? Yenny. 77 yennies on the yen. You know? Like, wait, how does that work? I don't even... And now I need to know. What is a penny in yen? Boys, we're all going to learn something today. No.
You need to find... I don't think they have something like that.
What is the penny equivalent in yen?
Yeah.
No, it's just giving me 1 penny to yen. Is 1 yen a penny? Stupid! Frick you, Japan!
What's the point in Google if it's not going to give you the
Chris, I'm now on your side.
Oh, God. Oh, boy.
I'm so seriously, don't sue us.
Jeff Shrooms writes in, and I can't believe I didn't think of this. I just read his comment. It says, I would like to see any of the Resistance games get a remastered to 60 FPS.
Why didn't you say Killzone?
I know. Me, Killzone Resistance, that's my shit. And I don't know how I missed that.
Do you know what I'd like to see get remastered? Or remade from the ground up, actually. Cyberpunk, and make it good.
There you go. Make it good.
Oh no, weirdly...
Remaster wouldn't help, though. It needs to be remade.
Yeah, remake. The Witcher 3, let's get the remaster for that.
Yeah.
Let's actually get it.
Actually.
You know?
No, when it gets close to it, we'll just delay it again. And Jeff Streams also says, important question for Eddie.
Ooh.
Can you please say heaven in Turkish? It's important. I need to know how it's pronounced. Yeah, cennet. It's cennet. So it's spelled C-E-N-N-E-T.
Oh, is that C with the like squiggle under it?
No, it's just weird. It's just like the way they pronounce C. So
what's weird? Because my
C
chicks...
with the line underneath it is actually pronounced C-H. But just C is J for some reason. Turks. Yeah.
Turks, man.
Bruv, these are the guys that didn't know what to call brown, so they went, the colour of coffee, you know?
Yeah, right. Like, what? It's coffee colour.
Let's not try and put sense into the whole language, okay?
They're so smart. They were like, okay, we don't want to say dick around the kids. We're going to call it like a cucumber. And then they're just like, okay, yeah, well, we call dick it's cucumber. We can't say cucumber.
And now that's just the word.
So what do you want in your salad? Shit.
That thing.
Give me the green stuff.
Yeah, the green
Lettuce?
stuff.
No, the other green thing. Peppers. No, the other thing. Beans.
I genuinely, if you have any Turkish friends, please go to them, tell them to go to a restaurant, tell them to ask for cucumbers. What the fuck they're going to say? They're going to just say, things you put in a salad, and it's like, Cennet, there you go. I wonder why you wanted to know that. Can you let me know? Like, either on Discord or like ping me on Twitter or whatever it is, something like that. I want to know. Are you trying to chat up some chick? You're like, when I met you,
it must have hurt when you fell from heaven.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is like, he says the rest of it in English, but he just says heaven in Turkish. It's like, oh, girl, did that hurt when you fell out of Cennet? It's oh! No! She's like, oh, my God.
How did you know?
Jeez, I need to change my underwear. Just because... That is it for today, boys and girls. I was gonna say a bit of a short one, but it's 2 hours still, so
yeah,
didn't really.
Well, you're
out.
welcome. Comfy chairs, boys.
Exactly. Thank you guys so much for supporting us over here on youtube.com/conversations1.
Yeah.
I haven't done that intro, that little shtick bit, you know, where like this is the True Gamer podcast.
Yeah.
Because it's been a few weeks off, and I didn't do it this week.
Yeah.
Next week I'll bring it back. I promise.
One final announcement. Get fricked, Runic Firebird. No corrections this episode. We've been right about everything. We have been right about
everything.
Did we say anything wrong this episode? Definitely not.
If he picks anything up, it's going to be literally his own corrections, correcting himself from last correction.
Yeah, correcting Runic Firebird. Last week I wrote in and said this, but actually... I was wrong, it was that.
We need to go into the comments before the next episode and correct him on anything he does so we can call it out.
We can do that. We can watch, because we can... I said, why would we watch our own episode?
Yeah, why would
it's us.
I've got better things to do.
Right, exactly.
Speaking of better things to do, let's get out of here. I actually need to go have a shower. I feel very sweaty still, so we'll see how that goes. Do you know, I'm not a sweaty guy, but this workout that Francesco's got me on, specifically he got me to do drop sets. I never knew what they were before, but they are tough at the end. And they made me sweat. So
yeah, drop sets or supersets, they're different things.
You said drop set to me.
Okay, so basically you do one exercise. Let's say you do something at 10 kilos and you drop it down to 5 kilos. Same exercise back to back. Yes.
Like I'll do like the three sets first of all, and then he goes drop set. So it's like immediately drop it down, going there, drop it down, going. Yes. I can't move my arms.
Yeah, that's sure to get you sweaty. Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll catch you all in the next one. Thank you all for being legends, and thank you all for your good comments. See you next time.
Week. Yeah. Oh. I really do want you to edit in like just the worst, you know, like someone's first iMovie Maker thing, like just a JPEG of an explosion, but like with the squares, you know, it's not, you know,
it goes off
like,
of the edges.
You know how your iPhone can do the perfect cut? Not that.
No.
Just like a JPEG, not a PNG, a JPEG there, and then like a crappy explosion sound like a.
Done. Happening in this episode, guys.
Well, I'm going to be in the live chat. I'm probably not going to be in the live chat.
You're going to watch the whole episode. See you later, boys.
The thing is, I probably would just sit there and watch the episode. I could log in and just skip to the end. I'm not going to do that.
No.
That's breaking the rules. It's no fun.